Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal? All of you ugly motherfuckers. What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop.
What is the deal, everybody? Again, this is the issue we talk. I am Lily. Y'all know who I am. Parker Bro is talking. I am with the amazing lady that pushes the bells and the whistles. The blonde with a bomb. The what can I say? The button pushing, bitch checking, bad MO in front of you, who is my co-host, the lady who got this whole thing started. If it was not her, it would not be no me. So let's give a round of applause for Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? How's life?
Oh, yeah. And the pleasantries was out the way. But I always have to give a shout out to Twitch. And I'm going to give a super shout out to TikTok. Today, I am finally live on TikTok. So you guys, if you're on TikTok or you follow us on TikTok, please go ahead and hit us up on live on TikTok, or hurry up and jump on YouTube so you can get this live and full effect. But with all of that out the way, Lindsay, how's your health? How's your wealth? What is the deal, my dog?
Well, just here living a life. Nothing too much going on over here. How about you?
Oh, man, just trying to I don't know, I'm trying to not be boiled in a world full of hot water. You feel me?
I like that. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just living, trying to take care of my son and together. He's starting to mimic me now, so I am going to have to really stop cussing a lot, because he is, every time you say something, he tries to repeat it. So I'm really I really have to watch moving forward, because say something and he gonna turn around and be like, boom, here you go.
Yeah. Before we get started with everything, just want to give a shout out to our ancestors, because they are really, really here amongst us, showing out, getting their get backs. They're just due, because they have burnt down a plantation called the Nottoway Plantation, which is in White Castle, Louisiana. This was like the biggest plantation in Louisiana. And you can go look up the history behind it or whatnot, but it burnt to a crisp a couple of days ago, to where nobody could stop it. None of the firefighters or anything could stop it. It kind of died down, but then it went back up in flames, and it just is what it is. This big ass plantation burnt to the ground. So yeah, it wasn't nothing but our ancestors. So shout out to them.
The ghost in that Turner said, "Not on my watch, bitch.
Right.
We not about to allow y'all to put this fire out
At all. So if you go anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, excuse me, TikTok, the comments definitely pass the vibe check. They definitely do. So yeah. So yeah, that motherfucker burnt down.
I wonder how many people try to run up there with hot dogs and s'mores, and just to enjoy putting a stop to something. I mean, as much as I want to praise this situation, I will say this, you know, we come to a point where this is 2025. That plantation did bring someone generational wealth, and where they were thriving, and that put a hindrance to it. And I like white people, some white people, but you know, that did stop some people's financial moving at this point. Hope they had insurance, but at the same time, hey, you know, karma's a bitch, and she's a red hot fiery one, as we see.
Right. Right. She's a big fat red one. She hot. You know, people came up there, you know, to watch it burn. It was, you know, it was a sight to behold. It drew a small crowd of folks. There were some, you know, there were some people that was looking at it as nostalgia and was sad that it was burning down. And then it was some people that was praising their ancestors for finally getting their get back, you know. So it was built on the backs of slaves and it burned down. You know, like the owner was of course a slave owner, and he also was a backer of the Confederacy. So fuck him. Fuck him.
You know, it is what it is. You
Right.
know,
You know,
it's just
welcome to the stripper game, partner. Like,
you know, it's one of those things where it's just like, damn, it's like, you know, you want to be like, oh man, shoot, you know, that's bad, that's terrible. And then but at the back of my mind, my unconscious bias is like, you know, I don't give a fuck. Like, if I was there, I would have praised it too. Like, you know, we never know what torment that was going on or have went on in the past with our ancestors at that plantation. And it was the reason why it just could not be taken down like that. Like, you know, it's been plenty of plantations that has burned and they stopped and they could be able to stop it, or plenty of plantations that's been through some terrible events, but they wouldn't totally destroyed. This one was totally destroyed, which lets you know something in the world said that this cannot no longer stand.
Yeah. It was meant to be done. Yeah, it was meant to burn. So yeah, fuck them. So yeah, moving on. All right. Are you ready to get into these topics?
Let's get into these topics.
Yeah. So this is the court edition of the Ish We Talk. So all we're talking about is court cases. So yeah. First one that we're going to talk about is DDG and Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey was granted a restraining order against DDG. You know, they were a couple at one point. They share a 1-year-old. His name is Halo, cute little boy. And she was granted a restraining order against him. She claimed domestic violence. She showed pictures of bruising. She showed a picture of a chipped tooth. And not only was she granted the restraining order, but she was granted temporary sole custody of their child. And I believe they have a court date next month to go over the custody. So there's been a lot of mixed comments about what's going on. You know, there's a lot of people, because, you know, DDG is a big name in the streaming world. So there's a lot of fans that are like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like DDG. He would never do that. She's lying. Excuse me. Then there's, you know, some people that's just like 100% Halle is not lying. DDG is terrible. He's, you know, done this, that, and the third. out in public. Not necessarily out in public, but online and whatnot, because he's the only one that's really vocal about their relationship. She's never really been too vocal. Even when they were together, she never really was too vocal about their relationship. But yeah. So it's fan base versus fan base for the most part. I saw the pictures of the bruising and the chipped tooth, so I can definitely see why a judge would grant her a restraining order. It's just unfortunate that it's come to this. Just hope that they can get it together for the sake of their child. What are your thoughts about this?
My thoughts is this. First and foremost, everybody that is watching us, we have to stop getting into dick and pussy business. Like,
well,
this should not concern us because we have no control over what's going on. But what I will say, because we do know about this, it's very unfortunate because what I do believe has happened is it's one of those things where, and I could be wrong, but it was one of those things where it was very it was very traumatic for DDG to go through a situation where he doesn't have full control of a situation, and he made a mistake. And I'm not saying that he's an abusive man. All I'm saying is, as a man, I understand, and I've been through situations where you could be harassed and you could be talked down to, and then as soon as you do something, all of a sudden the world looks at you like you're wrong. Now the bruising and the chipped tooth, all that right there, that was that's a tragedy because it's one of those things where now you are totally looking like the wrong person. And that, for me, that's a situation of it probably was a situation where they both were fighting each other. But like I tell men all the time, and it's something I had to learn, you cannot put your hands on a woman. I don't give a fuck how mad you get. Your best bet is to walk away, because the slight inconvenience of you putting your hands on her puts you in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Even if you were just trying to get her out the car, if it's any bruises or anything and they go to the police, it's fucked up. And it's just it's crazy because I don't know this man, nor do I know his background like that, but I do know how a woman can play the system. Like, a woman could beat the shit out of you and do everything, but as soon as you do one thing and it's a scratch or a scar, you are a fucking villain.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's the unfair thing about that, because at the end of the day, we don't know what happened between them. We don't know who's the aggressor. They are the only ones that know that. Yeah, it's just, I just say this: everybody keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
man, woman, or child, like, everybody keep their hands to themselves.
It reminds me of the whole Keke Palmer situation.
Yeah, because they played the fuck out of that.
It's like where they victimized this man, and then it turned out where when the whole thing got played out, they both was just super toxic and aggressive to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I keep saying, like, we can't keep getting in these people business like that where we're passing judgment. This could just been a super toxic ass relationship that should have been nullified a long time ago. The only problem is now there's a child involved, and that child doesn't know anything but the love of both of his parents.
Right.
And so the love of both of his parents is going to be totally different, and that totally doesn't mean that they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part about it. you know what I'm saying? We could talk about DDG, we could talk about Holly, and then at the end of the day, man, we are forgetting that this little boy is gonna have to grow up and know that at one point in his mom and dad's life, it was televised that they were beating the shit out of each other, basically. Or his daddy looks like a villain, and the mother is gonna downplay it like, "Oh, I never did anything at all."
Yeah.
So it's just I feel bad for that situation, because DDG is gonna have to continue to explain to his son for a long time what happened.
Yeah. 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 And that's true. That's true. Like I said, I just hope they get it together for the sake of their kid. Because people can debate all day who's the victim between the parents, but the victim that can't nobody debate is the son.
Yeah.
Whether there was a fight on both ends or not, we know for sure, no matter what happened, the victim is the son. So like I said, it's a big debate online, because the fans are going back and forth about it and whatnot. But
yeah, and y'all need to stay out them people business, man. Listen, I understand you're a fan, and I get it. You're a fan, and you can have your opinion. But stay out them people business, because you know what's gonna really mess y'all up. Y'all gonna do all this. Y'all gonna throw hate at each other, and then y'all gonna be really mad if they start sucking and fucking again. So y'all, again, like I told y'all, and I stick to it, all of us need to get the fuck out of dick and pussy business.
If only it could be that simple.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah. But yeah, that's them. So, moving on to another court case. Tory Lanez. So there was quite a few things that happened this past week with Mr. Peterson. He was stabbed in jail 14 times by somebody who's already serving a life sentence. And we don't know the reasoning behind this. We don't know if he was sent to do it. We don't know if they got into it. We don't know nothing. We just know that Tory was stabbed 14 times. He was in critical condition. Both his lungs collapsed. He was on a breathing machine, but then later on that same day, he was breathing on his own and talking. So, hopefully he has a full recovery. Because I don't want to see nobody meet their demise in this way.
Nah.
Also, because of this incident, the driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris, no relation, don't know that lady at all.
Not involved.
Right.
Not involved.
So the driver for her has come out and stated that he overheard a conversation that she had with her husband, admitting to the shooting of Miss Pete. And she pretty much said that she was the one that shot her, and Tory grabbed a gun from her. And then the gun went off. So it kind of lines up with what the witness said, that he heard 3 shots and then it was a pause and then he heard 2 more shots. Yep. The guy is under no NDA, but he was quiet about it, and it was messing with him morally to the point where after this stabbing, he had to go on ahead and say what he heard. So now, the people that felt like Tory was innocent the whole time, feel like they are vindicated and they're asking for him to be released. Yes.
I hate to be the dead horse.
Okay.
But
You're not funny. Okay.
you see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
I told y'all that bitch shot was the one that shot Megan.
Yeah.
I never denied Megan getting shot. That's one thing I will say, because a lot of people was saying, nah, it was glass. Why. I never denied her getting shot.
She 100% got shot.
You know what I'm saying? What I did say is he ain't the one that shot her.
Yeah.
I said that. I've been saying that. And the mortal words of Malcolm X, this is when your chickens come to roast at this point.
Yeah. It is totally feasible that Kelsey was the one, because when you think about it, Megan's back was turned. She was walking away. She did testify that she did not see who in fact shot her. By the time she turned around, Tory had the gun, which makes sense if Kelsey shot her and he snatched the gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it can totally be feasible that Kelsey was the one that shot her. She 100% got shot. But I don't think that me and you never negated that fact.
No.
And then, some of the facts in the case, Tory has said, were suppressed. One of the things that, that was weird was that the test came back inconclusive on if he had like gun residue or something like that. Which, I mean, he could have had, because he did touch the gun like right after he got shot,
But
so
that, and then unknown DNA, and they never, because she had immunity, they never ever tested to see if her DNA was on the gun.
Well, they never tested it when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't have immunity to the case, but they never tested it when it happened. So, and that was out on LAPD's part, because you should have tested everybody on the scene. We never heard anything from the driver. And the driver is they're kind of biased because they work for Tory, but in the same breath, they don't have a dog in the fight. So I would have thought that he would have been the star witness to get on the stand, but we never heard anything from him.
No.
Yeah, so it's a weird ass case. It's a weird ass case from the beginning to the end. I feel sorry for Megan, because again, she has to relive this all over again.
I don't feel sorry for Megan.
Why do you not
feel sorry? I'll be the one to say that off the flip. I don't feel sorry for Megan because, again, Megan should have kept it 100 and said she didn't know who shot her.
Well, I felt like that pretty much came out like, cause I look at it like this. Like, if it had been me and my back was turned and I got shot and I turn around and I see you with the gun, I'm gonna put two and two together and be like, motherfucker, you shot me. You know what I'm saying? And you say, oh no, I didn't. Who shot me then? Well, nigga, you shot me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, so to add another layer to this, Jason Lee had a text conversation with Tory after this new revelation came out or whatever. And he pretty much was saying that his whole thing was he was trying to protect Black women because of the fact that Kelsey now is a wife and mother, and he lost his mother at a young age, and he couldn't bear to live with the fact of him being a part of another kid losing their mother had they gone to jail. So that is like mainly the reason why he just didn't be like, hey, Kelsey did it. But it's weird because it was like you were taunting her, you were making this whole smear campaign, like, and you were leading the charge that the girl didn't get shot in the first place. Like, But in all actuality, you were protecting two black women, and it's like you're completely contradicting. Like this whole situation is just really fucked up. At the end of the day, Megan was shot. I do feel sorry for her because she has to continually relive this situation. And it's a fucked up situation because that was your best friend. And your
Yeah.
best friend shot you. Like if all is what being said true, your best friend shot you. That's fucked up. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care what me and my best friend go through. I'm not shooting her. Like,
She shot you, and then she allowed an innocent man to go to jail.
yeah, she's a fucked up individual.
You
If
know,
if all of this is true, she's a fucked up individual for that.
yeah, yeah. I know what I'm saying. I was about to say, like, the whole thing in a nutshell is, as much as I don't feel sorry for Megan, I really do put the whole thing on. This lady knew exactly what happened. Not only did she shoot her best friend, she put a man in jail. And because of whatever story they're trying to concoct about how he just didn't want to see a woman go to jail over that, it is no way you can sleep good knowing that that man had nothing to do with nothing, and he got smeared through this, even to the point where Megan had to actually on TV say that Tory shot me, knowing damn well that that man didn't.
Yeah,
I've been sticking to that now. I ain't never said Tory was a good guy,
yeah,
but I said off the flip, man, nah, that was a matter of that little nigga was stuffing dick in everybody in the world, and somebody got jealous, and somebody, instead of taking it out on him, took it out on another motherfucker that he was fucking.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that I agree with as well. But what's so crazy about the stuff that Jason Lee was saying, how it really don't make sense is because he's never said that Kelsey was the one that shot her. He's never said that. Like I said, he was taunting Megan and all this type of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey didn't become a mother until way after. You know what I'm saying? Way after the shooting. The only person that was a parent at the time of the shooting was Tory. So you're protecting black women. You don't want to see a child lose their mother due to the fact that you lost your mother, even though there's two totally different situations. However, you was okay with your son losing a father.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like you coming up with all these reasonings and you're trying to play yourself like a martyr, and it's like, yeah, no, you on some quote unquote street shit about the no snitching, and you thinking that this shit is cool to take a charge because you're not snitching. But in all actuality, you thought that you was going to get off. That's what you thought.
Yeah.
Because the case was sloppy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You thought you were going to get off. But no, you didn't get off. You got 10 years. So, yeah. And your appeals got lost in the interim. So now with this new revelation from a person that wasn't even there, they just overheard a conversation. What I'm just curious as to what they can do now. Like, I know they're going to try to get him out, but
Well, and at this situation, this guarantees him another court date. So that's one thing that he's he's gonna get now he's getting a chance to actually have another court date and actually appeal. Do I think it's going to set him free? I don't know. What I do know is because of what has happened to him, if they do appeal and they offer a bond, he'll be able to for a brief moment not be in prison if they do offer him a bond.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it should be granted to him. And it's kind of weird that this situation happened because a lot of people was trying to say It was all over a visit, and Tory was taunting this man's wife and wah, all of this. And all of that to me just sounded like really sketchy. First of all, first and foremost, from what I've been listening to this case is Tory is aligned with certain people in prison, and being aligned with those type of people, they're not going. It's not one of those things where he could just start some bullshit like that with an individual without any repercussions happening. I really think it was one of those. I think it was kind of, for me, and this is my conspiracy guy talking. I just really think it was odd that all of a sudden this lifer tried to stab him, and they made this whole thing up about because he was taunting him over visitation with his wife, and then it was a couple of people came out like, hell nah, it wasn't even that dude got life. It wouldn't. He ain't got nobody visiting him like that for any of that to happen. I really think it was one of those things, and again, this is my conspiracy talking. That all of this was getting pulling into effect, and they wanted to go ahead and off him, and that could just be me. Because I mean, a Mexican dude this Mexican dude already he already disbanded himself from a gang. He's just a nigga that got life. To turn around and just out of the clear blue stab this man like that, when all of this shit is about to come out, I think it's way heavier than what people were talking about.
I agree. I agree with that. Let's see. Ignite TV is watching. Says peace, family. You think Tory innocent?
I do. 100%. I do not believe that Tory shot Megan the Stallion. Do I believe he's innocent? As far as just being being a dick slanger? No. That was no point. This nigga went to jail because he was slanging dick to too many people in a close vicinity. But I don't believe he shot Megan. I just don't.
Yeah. Don't. I mean, the whole situation is fucked up. Whether he was the one that shot her or Kelsey was the one that shot her, the fact that this is a man and then this is her best friend. Like either way you slice it, it's a fucked up situation because the girl got shot. We can't continue to refute that. The girl got shot. Period. Point blank. It was proven numerous times in the trial. Had people on the stand that actually operated on her, that was questioning her because they're pulling out bullet fragments and she keep talking about she stepped on glass. Like the girl got shot. Period. Point blank.
Yep.
Who shot her? Either way you slice it, it's fucked up. Whoever shot her. You know. I just want them to quit playing in our face about this shit. That's what I would just like to happen, is to quit playing in our face.
It's I want him to get an actual trial, and it's so the thing that really got me is the statement that the lawyer said. This is how, for me, I looked at it like they knew it was a flawed thing, but again, legally, he went to jail legally because he got judged by his peers and sentenced. And that was kind of the statement that the lawyer said. And it was one of those things where he wasn't backing down on, no, this is this man, wah. He was just saying, hey, through law, he went to jail like he was supposed to. So for me, that statement was a blanket statement of saying, hey, I don't give a fuck. It was y'all that locked him up. I'm just doing my job. Like, you know, I knew that nigga was innocent, but I gotta work on, you know what I'm saying, with my guy. My guy, you know what I'm saying, was against him, so I'm just against. I was with my guy. Now that my guy is well, not my guy, but now that he's in jail, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me if he's innocent. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever y'all want to do. Like, but you can't throw this on me and say I did anything wrong because y'all the one put him in jail, not me.
Right.
That was basically what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
So I think everybody knew it was some fuck shit going on. But again, as a lawyer, you got to take care of your defendant.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you do. You know what's so funny is there is a Tubi movie about this called The Girl Who Got Shot in the Heel.
Yeah.
And I've watched it. You know, and I keep thinking about it every time you talk about this case. I always think about that movie. And shout out to my friend Larry Moore. He was in the movie. He played what is that man's name? Her friend, that's the stylist, that she went to the party with, the guy. He played him in the movie. I forgot that man's name. But that man, I forgot the man name in the movie and in real life. But he played him in the movie. So, and I keep thinking about it, and it's just so funny.
Shout out to your homeboy.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that's gonna stand on, man. Hey, I said it. A couple of people agree with me, but a lot of people, said I was wrong. 2 years later, this is, you know what I'm saying, this is coming out the way it's coming out. And I said it. I said, man, y'all don't really know what happened. I think it was a scuffle. I think they were arguing back and forth. I think she just grabbed the gun on some mad shit and did some shit that she didn't want, that she didn't think was gonna happen, and then shit, the bitch got shot in her hoof. I said that 2 years ago. I said it.
Yeah.
I just won't, you know what I'm saying, the record to reflect that if this man gets another trial, because again, and I want to iterate, does that say that's gonna get him out of jail? No, I ain't saying that, because they could come up with some stuff. A lot of it is, because of all of those all of the statements that was made, and then him saying glass shards, and then the whole statement of him saying dance bitch. All of these things. Am I saying that that's gonna get him out of jail? No, but it is gonna give him another trial.
Yeah. And then that part too, like, where did the dance bitch come from?
And so my whole thinking of that is, if it does come out that it was some fuck shit going on, what's gonna happen to Megan? Because that was perjury.
Yeah.
So this is a whole conundrum of, if this shit plays out in Tory's favor, everybody who was Team Megan, if come to find out, if she was just point blank lying on this man, then what do y'all think should happen to her?
I don't think she was point blank lying. Like I said, she did state on the stand her back was turned, and when she turned around, he had the gun, which, according to this driver, what he heard from her conversation, from Kelsey's conversation with her husband, that does line up. If she was the one that shot her, she shot 3 times. Tory grabbed the gun, and the gun went off 2 more times. So it does line up with, if Megan got shot with her back turned and turned around, and she saw Tory with the gun. I don't think, and that lines up with the witness statement. Yeah, I don't think that's perjury. It's just she visibly did not see herself getting shot. She just put 2 and 2 together, which, like I said earlier, what I would have done the same thing. If my back was turned and I got shot and I turned around and you got the gun, I'm not gonna think nothing else. Especially when I be like, motherfucker, you shot me.
Yeah.
And you don't be like, no, Kelsey did it. You just sitting there like, I didn't shoot you, but you got the gun in your hand and I'm shot. The fuck you talking about? You didn't shoot me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that whole no snitch shit is crazy. I would have point blank been like, hey man, that bitch shot you. I took the gun so she wouldn't keep shooting you.
Right. Exactly. But you standing up there looking stupid and not saying, no, I didn't shoot you. She shot you. I just took the gun from her.
Some niggas take gangster way too far.
This ain't no gangster moment.
Yeah, this you know, that no snitching, no doing none of that. I would have been straight up. It would have been apparent that I didn't shoot her off the flip. I would have literally been like, "Hey man, bitch, you tripping? Why would you shoot?" And I would have called her by our government as fuck.
Yeah, like the witness that heard the shots and shit would have heard me arguing with her about how I didn't shoot you. You know what I'm saying? And he would have had to testify that he heard that argument because bitch, I didn't shoot you. I'm trying to save your motherfucking life.
Yeah, this bitch
is crazy.
This bitch a basket case.
Yeah.
If I didn't grab the gun, bitch, you better be glad you just got shot in the hoof, bitch. Because if I didn't grab this gun, this bitch would have hit you in the back. Right.
So yeah, like he would have definitely heard me saying that shit.
Yeah, so, I would have stood. I mean, I would have stood on it, but you know, it's this imaginary code that these artists think that they're doing. If you're in the streets, then that it's not an imaginary code; it's real. But you're not in the streets, my nigga.
Right?
So it's imaginary. Right. That's an imaginary code. I'm not in the streets, so let something happen, and I snatch a gun off of somebody. And a motherfucker turn around and be like, "You shot me." I'm gonna be like, "No, it was Bernard Winthrow Harris that shot you."
Damn, Harris, really, Harris?
I just no
fuck the whole bloodline.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would say that nigga's full government. Like, no.
Right.
I grabbed the gun so this nigga wouldn't kill you.
Right. 100%. 100%. That's why I'm like, this ain't no gangster moment. Like a female getting shot over some fuck shit. This ain't gangster. Like the no snitching doesn't apply. I would have been singing, bitch, I didn't shoot you. She did. And hand me a stack of Bibles.
I ain't about to play no games like that.
Yeah, like, cause I'm going home. I like my bed. And I want to sleep in it as much as I can.
I mean,
and I bet you I'm going home tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just the total being, it's just one of those things where people have to think about the damage that things like this cause. I know everybody wants to, know what I'm saying, stick to a code, and everybody thinks because we're black, all of a sudden, all of us is hard as a motherfucker. It's a lot of you soft ass niggas out here. And I honestly say, I don't think I'm one of y'all, but I'm an honest to God tell you, I'm going home to my son. I'm not even about to play no games with you. And if you got a problem with it, especially if I'm famous, you know where to find me. Now, everything after that is going to be self-defense. I didn't shoot her, but I'll shoot the shit out of you if you got a problem.
Right. I didn't shoot her at all, but bitch, I'll shoot you.
Yeah. Let's just keep it a beam right there. Right. You can think I'm a bitch if you want to.
Right.
What I'm about to do is make sure that my son knows how a man moves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I didn't do that. She did that. It's a tragedy that happened. I would have said it off the flip. I'm not gonna have, and I get it. He thought he was getting out. He thought he was gonna get off because of everything was hearsay and all that shit. But it was damaging when it came out to if Megan turned around and only seen him with a gun and he did not speak about that. That's what got you caught up, and you already had gun charges, my nigga.
Yeah,
I would have been thinking about that. I'm already fucked off. So yeah, if you don't think I'm about to preserve my motherfucking life, you crazy.
Right. I'm not. That's what they initially charged them with.
Yeah, I'm not going to jail for shit, and I could get deported. It's so much shit going on, man. Nah, I wouldn't have put myself in that situation. It would have been horrible. Not. Niggas could say whatever they wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas could call me whatever, and I would address them at the shit that Tory Lanez was doing to niggas. I would have been doing that on top of being telling my motherfucking story.
Yeah,
like I'm not even gonna bullshit with y'all. I think about the Woody Woody, everybody knew Woody was a snitch, but you know what nobody's doing to Woody? Running up on him because they know Woody a real killer though.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Yeah, I said that. I said that because I want to preserve my life. But guess what, nigga? You are a peon compared to who the fuck I was talking about. So I'll knock you the fuck off. I know how to move accordingly that way.
Right.
Everybody know what type of time Woody's on.
Yeah.
That's why Woody ain't never been touched. Everybody want to call him a snitch and all that shit, and Woody's still making bread because ain't nobody about to run up on Woody like that.
Right. Straight up.
I would have been the same. I would have been on the same type of time. You could have. I'm a snitch for because a bitch shot this motherfucker. I'm a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a civilian, and what I'm not about to do is play no games with y'all.
Right.
And if you run up on me talking about some, oh man, it's fucked up. You told on a bitch. Tell on me. I'm gonna tell on you because I'm gonna go live and shoot you in the face because you tried to attack me.
Right. But then this is the killer part about all this no snitching and shit. They only doing that for the motherfuckers on the internet who will never run up on them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They would never get the cojones to say that to them in person. So who you doing it for?
So I'm like, man, dude, y'all can say what y'all want. I'm talking about everybody from YouTube to TikTok to Twitch. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me. I will guarantee you, if I'm in a situation like that, I'm going to tell the honest to God truth. And if I ain't have nothing to do with it, I ain't have nothing to do with it. Now, if I had everything to do with it, I'm going to lie like a motherfucker. This is what it is.
Right. Man, but in this situation, it was 5 of them. They all took one shot.
Man. Dude. In this situation,
one shot each.
he chose to keep a code that shouldn't have been relevant in this moment right here.
Yeah. So we have been watching this case since the beginning, and we will continue to watch it. So it's gonna be very interesting what's gonna happen. But he definitely had an eventful week. Definitely. So we will see for sure. So moving on to the next court case. Chris Brown. So Chris Brown in 2023 allegedly, hold on, put this up because I ain't got time. So allegedly in 2023 he hit somebody in the face with a bottle over in the UK. So this past week he went over to the UK because he has several sold out shows for his tour in the UK, which the UK part of it starts in June. So he went over there this past week because he's prepping for the shows, right? And they arrested him.
Man.
And they have charged him. And they are keeping him in jail till his court date, which I want to say is either a day or two before the first show. There was scuttlebutt that the shows might get canceled. Mind you, these are sold out shows. There was scuttlebutt that the shows might get canceled. We don't know for sure on if they will be canceled or not, but yeah, they are keeping him detained until his first court date. Excuse me. Yeah, so we'll see if he'll get out on bail or not, and be able to make those shows and then continue on with his tour, even though he got this court case. Of course, we're not gonna know what type of stipulations they're gonna put on him until that court date. You know, because mind you, he got this tour. This is like his 20th anniversary of his first album this year. Yeah. So he got this big old tour, the Breezy Bowl. We talked about it when it was announced. This is a big deal. I was just looking at those tickets maybe like a week ago. The tour is almost sold out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I was just looking at 2 dates in the States. So yeah, this is a big deal because they might fuck around and keep him, and then the whole tour is canceled. You know,
Yeah, this is horrible.
really suck. You know, my plans would be shot to hell if that happens. But yeah,
This is horrible. This is
yeah,
this is a big this is a big wrench in this nigga's mechanics.
huge.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
Because
a lot of people eating off of this tour.
yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's so many people involved, and
Yeah.
there's so much money that already been generated, and there's so much money that he put into this. Man, you are jeopardizing not only his livelihood but the livelihood of so many people on this. And about this situation, I don't know what happened in that case, if he did or if he didn't. But in the grand scheme of things, man, I feel like they need to wrap this shit the fuck up. Like, not to be, and because I mean, it's one of those things where it's not that I'm defending him, because if he's wrong, he's wrong. But
Yeah.
let's wrap this shit the fuck up. So, because it's people depending on me to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a business at the end of the day. A lot of people have been wanting this, and then, he has a weird relationship with the UK because of he was banned for 10 years after that whole Rihanna situation. And I mean, he's gone there since, because this incident happened 2 years ago. But yeah, I just don't know, because like, if he in fact did do this, why would you carry your ass back over there?
I don't believe that he did. I just don't believe that he would even make a move like that. I think he thought all of that shit was taken care of. And I think they didn't probably brought up other shit. And you know what I'm saying? Just to fuck with you. And I hate to be that kind, but I'm gonna just be this. Man, fuck it. I'm gonna just keep it 100. Sometimes people don't want niggas making money for real.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just think it's one of those things because, like you said, I don't think for a shadow of a doubt, gonna do a tour. And he knew what was allegedly happened in 2023, and he thought that shit was wrapped up. He would have never jumped back over there.
I mean, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, you know what? Y'all gonna have to see me.
I truly believe it was one of those things where, and I know he's on the phone talking to lawyers and all that, like, what the fuck just happened? And I just believe that it's one of those things where they done brought something else, or the situation where it happened, these people were trying to bring something else up. Because the initial situation, I believe it would have been wrapped up, or he would have, you know what I'm saying, this would have been handled in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't know if he's been.
I don't think anybody would have made a move like that. I think he has a well enough team. If that man can do coke and people can actually see him do coke, I'm pretty sure that he wrapped this shit up he thought he wrapped this shit up in the UK.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like that, it's just, it's weird that you would risk something like that, because like I said, it's a lot of people eating off of this tour, and why would you risk it for some bullshit like this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think it is what it is. I could be wrong. Again, this is why it's called the Ish We Talk. We don't know these people. We don't know what's going on. But you know what I'm saying?
You're right.
But 100%, man, I just don't believe he's that that person.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Chris Brown is an idiot where he'd have been like, oh yeah, well shit, ain't nobody talking about it. It's been 2 years. I'm gonna just go ahead. But he could be. I just don't think he is.
I will hope he isn't. But we do have a guest, a surprise guest.
Uh-oh.
Bree is here. Hey, Bree.
Hey.
What the fuck's the deal, my dog? What's up, Bree?
Not too much, man. Trying to survive.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got
It's
glory.
always
How's
good to
it
hear from
going?
you, Bree.
How's it going? How y'all doing?
Good. Good. You know, we are currently talking about Mr. Christopher Maurice Brown.
His middle name's Maurice. That's why he be beating up women. Okay.
Oh, you was a motherfucker.
Okay. It makes sense. I was wondering.
So everybody named Maurice
Allegedly.
beat bitches.
Allegedly.
That's an old nigga beating name, though, ain't it? Old nigga beating bitch name, ain't it? They say Maurice beat her up. You ain't gonna be like, not Maurice. You're gonna be like, that sound right. You ain't even gonna know what he looked like. He could be a white man. It just sounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out to all the Maurices out there, you know.
That's what I was about to say. I'm my homeboy. Hey, shout out to Big Reese. And rest in peace to my nigga Big Reese. I didn't hear any of those accusations against you, my dude.
It's just jokes, everyone. It's just jokes.
You know, I said a long time ago, Chris Brown is the lightest, darkest nigga you ever gonna see in your life. So,
he does not move like a light-skinned nigga. Now I will.
That nigga does not. He don't even fix his face like a light-skinned nigga.
Nah,
That
you
shit
know
be
what he
fucking me
is.
up.
You right about that. He is the light. He do not act light skinned.
He does not.
No, he does not.
I
I like Chris Brown though. I mean, he has a past, you know, but I like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's one of those niggas who was cursed with the ability to be handsome, but be dangerous at the same fucking time.
But let's get back into this. He really don't act like a light-skinned man.
No.
Kid from Kid and Play acted light-skinned. He was the first one. I ain't gonna hold you. When they first started talking about light-skinned blacks, the difference was Kid from Kid and Play.
Yeah.
I could see the difference between, because Play was with the shit. Kid was kind of, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, no. It's you know, and my world and generation of generations, it's been two. I can count for me. It's been two people in the industry that was light skinned but did not act like light skinned niggas, and that was Kid Capri and Chris Brown. Like
Kid Capri don't act light skinned either.
Them two dudes. Yeah. They don't have mannerisms of a light skinned nigga. They don't act. They don't want to fix their face to look a certain way. None of that shit. They just happen to have the burden of being light skinned, but they would jump down on you like the darkest nigga you ever met in the world, wearing a dark Nike fleece and black Air Force
Ones, right? And is Kid Capri even black?
Yeah.
He's black. Oh, I thought he was Hispanic. You know, they're all ambiguous up there in New York. Fuck it. But yeah, you're right. Kid Capri don't act light skinned at all. At all. So, but yeah.
Tyrese act more light skinned than Chris Brown.
Tyrese 1000% acts light skinned.
Exactly.
Definitely acts light skinned. So
they should swap skin colors.
Yeah, like Tyrese and Chris Brown flip flop because Chris does not act light skinned and Tyrese does not act dark skinned. And you have to be of the culture to know what the fuck we're talking about. And I'm not explaining. I'm not explaining a goddamn thing. Right. I'm not explaining nothing. So
and this is listen, you know, for y'all watching. This is two brown paper bags talking.
Like literally.
So, we have the ability to understand what we're saying.
Right. We're the ones that's on the porch.
Yeah, we're the ones that people be like, I don't know if they're gonna be
Okay. I mean, you can go in the field, but you can go in the house too. Like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna put you on the porch. So
Yeah. This is 2 brown paper bags talking to you, telling you these niggas don't act like they skin color.
Right, at all. So, but yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I hope that this outcome is positive for all the people that are infected, because there's a lot of people that are going to be affected if this is not a positive outcome.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, because I watched this one guy on YouTube that does commentary, but he's from the UK. And he said, if you act like, they can detain you without charging you. And if you actually get charged, then more than likely they got a case. And he got charged. So he was like, this is more than likely, this is something huge that will happen. So
That's so fucked up.
yeah, for so many reasons it is. But yeah, for my own selfish reasons, because I plan on going to the concert. So yeah, we shall see. We shall definitely see. So yeah, so that is Chris Brown. So now yeah, so now we are talking about Diddy. Yeah.
Diddy do it? Diddy do it? Oil, baby oil. Diddy do it? Diddy do it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we had opening statements start this week, along with 5 witnesses that were called up to the prosecution this week. So they started off with it's a lot. So just, follow this story with me. I'm gonna try to sum it up as good as I can. But yeah, so they started off with opening statements. They said they was gonna prove these charges. He has a total of 5 charges. He has racketeering, or he has a total of 5 counts, I should say.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
So he has racketeering, kidnapping, and sex trafficking. And I want to say it's 2 counts with the sex trafficking, 2 counts with the kidnapping, and a RICO, or the racketeering. I want to say that's how it goes, but I could totally be wrong. But it's 5 counts, 3 charges. So they are trying to paint the picture of him, having this big enterprise of sex trafficking and kidnapping, and that's what they're trying to paint the picture of. And they're using all these various examples to do so. And they initially had the security officer from that infamous Intercontinental tape that we all have seen and cringed watching. They had the one of the male escorts that they used to frequently use take the stand. Excuse me. So with the security officer, he was a security officer at the Intercontinental when that happened. He is currently LAPD. He testified that he was the one that responded. He's the one that wrote the incident report. He said that he did tell Diddy to that he was going to have to pay for the damages, and then he said that Diddy eventually handed him like a stack of cash and told him to handle that. So
that's a hell of a career change. God.
Well,
damn.
I mean, a lot of security officers do eventually become a cop.
Yeah, I know a lot of them that.
Yeah, because they for whatever reason they probably tried to be a cop first and couldn't, and went into security, or maybe they went into security because they needed a job and found that this is the career path they want. Whatever the case may be, it is a closed pipeline. But anyway,
So they really do the Martin national security shit.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah, that's the thing.
Damn.
My federally hood.
Right. Woo, like, right. We're gonna. This is a horrible, dark, sinister, disgusting case. So we will be making jokes here and there because we gotta make light of some of this shit because it's horrible. So that's just like a disclaimer. Darrell Mukarati is watching. Says yo. So hey, how's it going?
My nigga, you got a hell of a name.
Yeah, and I hopefully I got that right.
Yeah, that name is. You sound like you will whoop somebody's ass. If you can't, then I advise you to like get into boxing classes or something. If
It
your
sounds like
name
he's
is really Mu Karate,
yeah, it sounds like he's trained to whoop ass. Like
yeah,
he's
like,
been taught,
like from
and
birth. Somebody,
he has a sensei, like all that.
Somebody threw a dagger in your hand as soon as you came out the womb.
Right.
Said, "This is what you're supposed to do, my king."
Right. That's how you know he's the king.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't come out crying. They just tossed him a dagger and he took it with that baby head. He said, "Bye."
Right.
Do you know who you are?
Right. He's the king. He's the king. Yeah. All right. So he testified these things and whatnot. And so when the defense came up there, they pretty much broke him down. He's more than likely a not credible witness at this point because he took video of this situation and testified that he took the video because he wanted to tell his wife because his wife would not believe that he met Diddy. So he was fanned out. He also testified that Diddy never verbally told him to get rid of the tape. He assumed that's what the stack of money was for, even though what he verbally said was, you're going to have to pay for these damages. And then the next thing you know, Diddy handed him money. So if you actually go off of what people were saying and what actually was done in the order of events, you can make the claim that Diddy was paying for the damages and not to get rid of the tape. So there was a lot of things that all of a sudden, because remember, this was in 2016, 9 years ago. There was a lot of things that he said and testified to that he didn't put in the incident report. So the defense broke that down and was just like, why you didn't put this in the incident report? Why you didn't put that in the incident report? Oh, I didn't remember. Oh, okay, so right after it happened, you didn't remember, but 9 years later, you remember? Okay, so it's like, yeah, let's go on ahead and wrap him up.
Yeah, you can toss that out. All that shit's got about to be tossed out.
Right. So that's the security officer, right? Next person was the sex worker. There was a sex worker that initially he was a dancer. He got hired for a bachelorette party. He shows up and it's only Cassie and Diddy. Diddy was there with a hat on and a bandana over his face. So all you saw was his eyes. He told him his name was something. And he,
I said Francesco.
Right. Something black. And he told him he was an importer-exporter. When I heard that, I was like, was he watching Seinfeld? Like, what's going on? Like what's going on? Yeah, importer,
first and foremost, you know exactly who Diddy is. Like,
right. And that's what the guy said. The guy was like, as soon as I heard his voice, I know who he is. Now, anybody in the world, Diddy has a very distinctive voice. So absolutely that is believable.
that nigga got a great patch that only superheroes have. Like,
he had a hat on. He had a hat on and he had a bandana.
And he had a hat and a bandana. And you still know his beaded ass eyes from anywhere.
Exactly. And you know his voice. You know his
And you
voice.
know his voice.
But once
Right.
we see Cassie, we know it's Diddy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I don't know what year this started or whatever. And
well, she had to be some type of relevant because
mhm. I don't know if he testified that he knew her just off the flip. He just was like, he saw a beautiful woman. The woman told him like, hey, actually me and my husband, it's just gonna be me and my husband. We hired you, and you know, we can get into some things, and if it goes there, it goes there. And so he was just like, well, shoot, the husband okay with it? This a beautiful woman, I'm down. So he came from being a dancer to ended up turning into their gigolo. So with him turning into their gigolo, he was commissioned to do this a few times. Well, more than a few times or whatnot. And then he detailed the instances to where he testified that he saw Diddy beat Cassie. There was a instance where he could not perform because he was so messed up mentally from seeing Diddy beat Cassie. He said that they eventually got comfortable with him, so the mask and or the bandana and the hat came off. Cassie used to wear a masquerade mask that eventually came off. So they got real comfortable with him. They flew him all over. So there go the sex trafficking part. They flew him all over specifically for this freak off deed to do. They paid him several amounts. I think the max in one session he got was like $6,000. He said sessions will last for hours. He had to complete. The majority of the time they did not wear condoms, and Diddy instructed him to complete in her or on her. After he completed, Diddy and Cassie would go into another room, and he would just be sitting there waiting, sometimes for hours, for them to come back out. He did not necessarily know what was going on in there, but there were some times where it would be fighting going on in there. He would hear things, and then there was one particular time she ran out and ran into his arms and whatnot. He also testified that he had a conversation with her, like, "Hey, you don't really have to go through this, you know." But
Not the stripper had to save the trick. That's crazy.
yeah,
We
yeah,
usually be the nigga that's like,
it
hey
was
man,
the
you
other
know
way
you ain't gotta
around.
do this. Like,
Right,
the
right,
stripper would
right.
be like, hey, listen, stop getting your ass whooped.
Yeah,
My dick can't even get hard because he's kicking you in the like I don't want to. I can't do this.
right, right,
that
and that's
nigga, that
literally
nigga turned the stripper. Hey, the stripper, she was little Ebony.
right, right, right. So, but that's literally how it was going. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga got invited to Junior's party every other day. That's crazy.
That's for y'all. That's all.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
So,
I'm gonna kiss you. You're getting married tomorrow.
right.
Let me get your brother.
God damn.
So yeah, yeah. So he testified all this stuff. And they like I said, they used him a lot of times. They had a rotation that they used. He was in the rotation. Yeah. So that was his testimony, right? So then we have Cassie. Mind you, Cassie in current day is married, pregnant with her third child, and she's good and pregnant. She's like 8.5 months. They argue because the defense, of course, when you see a pregnant woman, it's automatic, conscious or subconsciously, that you're gonna, take umbrage to a pregnant woman.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
It's an unconscious bias.
yeah,
You always gonna give her kind of a leeway.
And
yeah,
the topic is sex. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, the defense did try to get her on the witness stand prior to the jury coming because they did not want the jury to visibly see her pregnant. They lost that fight. So when Cassie was called, she walked in and took the witness stand like a regular person would, but she's, like I said, good and pregnant. And they also was arguing about her breaks. So the judge kind of compromised about that, and they was just like, you cannot ask her if she needs a break. She needs to say, can I take a break?
Yeah.
So, yeah, her testimony pretty much lasted a couple of days. The prosecution pretty much took like about 2 days with her, and yeah, she detailed their whole situation. And then of course the defense came up there, and then it was a back and forth with the redirect and whatnot. In a nutshell, she testified with the prosecution that she did not want to do any freak off ever. She was scared for her life. She felt like that was what she needed to do to be with him. He was extremely violent. He beat her all the time. She was drunk in love. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but this is basically what her testimony was with the prosecution, that it was just a horrible 11 years. She pretty much got turned out. She felt like she was a sex worker at one point, even though to the public she wasn't. I mean, she was presented to us as his girlfriend. In real life, she wasn't treated as his girlfriend. She never got close to the kids. She was extremely jealous of Kim Porter. The only holiday she got was New Year's. He did take care of her. Initially, when she came out, she was under Ryan Leslie, and she was dating Ryan Leslie. Then she eventually dated Diddy, and she was with Diddy for about like 11 years. Now it was off and on. He basically he pushed up on her first. He kissed her when they went to Miami for her 21st birthday, and he kissed her. She was taken off guard. She said she initially was never attracted to him at first. And so she was taken off guard when he kissed her. And then there was one particular time when they was out. He gave her head, and he had thought that it was going to be reciprocated. She didn't. He got pissed. But she eventually, got turned out by him. Then she started talking about the freak offs and how they were constant. She never wanted to do it. They would last for hours and hours and hours. At one particular freak off lasted 4 days. She said she constantly had UTIs to the point where the antibiotics were not curing it anymore. Dang. She would have sores in her mouth from the friction of giving head. She was on every type of drug, and she had a really bad drug addiction. She said Diddy had one as well. In 2012, he OD'd. We did not know this until the court case. Then what else did she say? She said, she said that she was getting beat a whole lot. There were, several instances where there's proof that she was getting beat because there were pictures and stuff like that. Like, she would take pictures of herself, send them to him. There were pictures in the public because he would beat her like right before she had to make an appearance and stuff like that. And there was times where he would want to freak off right before an appearance. She didn't, and of course she didn't want to do it. She never wanted to do it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. It's Yeah, it's all alleged. But this is what she's testifying.
Yeah, this is what she's saying.
So what else? There were several different people that she would, do the freak outs with. She also testified that what was happening when they would leave the escorts out there by themselves, when her and Diddy would go into the room, she testified that Diddy wanted the escorts to complete either in her or on her, because when they would go into the room and they would have their alone time, Diddy wanted her to take the completion evidence.
You are so professional.
I'm trying. He wanted her to take the evidence and rub it on his nipples while he completed.
Yeah. Listen, that's a sick man.
That is disgusting.
That man's starving. That man's starving. You hear me? Listen. Yeah. Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm not defending Puffy when I say this, but at the same time, I'm not going to be on the end of just saying that all that time Cassie wasn't into that. I will say this. I believe that Cassie looked at Puffy like he was a come up, and she was willing to do a lot of things at one point.
Okay, let me get through before we get to that part, because because you're going into the defense part of it all. So so this is all what she's testifying with the prosecution and whatnot. She's just pretty much testifying it was a horrible experience. And
you said what, Brie?
I think she was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. So this was a horrible experience. She didn't want it. Yeah. It won't let me do it. But anyway, so
privilege every day to be here.
Bree, we gotta mute you, fam.
Yeah, it won't let me do it. Okay. So so she testified all this stuff. So the defense comes, right? The defense did a great job of handling her, because again, we have, whether it's conscious or unconscious, a bias towards pregnant women.
Yep.
And it was speculated on how they were going to be able to handle her, because you can't go hard on a pregnant woman just because of the optics of it all. You know what I'm saying? Whether they are stone cold liar or not, you can't do it. It's not going to look good. So, I feel like, from what I understand, because I've watched several people and taken several perspectives on this, it sounds like the defense did a good job with the way that they actually handled her. Also, where do I want to go with this? So so let's get into what they pretty much broke down. They pretty much broke down the text messages, and there are a lot of text messages that went back and forth between Diddy and Cassie in regards to freak offs. Mind you, she testified that she never wanted one, nothing of the sort. The text messages prove otherwise. The text messages say that she was with the shit 100%. There was another thing that she testified that he will make her doing while she was on her cycle. The text messages kind of prove otherwise, that he was kind of like not trying to fool with her while she was on her cycle, and she was just like, well, I'll stop it and this, that, and the other. And she's saying all this through text message. She also testified that the last 2 times that they had sex in life, the second to last time, he raped her. The last time was consensual. I, along with a lot of other people, kind of got confused on that, because I'm like, if he raped you, why did you go back
Exactly
and have consensual sex with him? But I'm not a psychologist. I'm not gonna get into the psyche of that.
And I would say that too. Like, we don't never know what is going on in the victim's mind, if that is true.
Right. So, but there were a lot of things that were proven otherwise, in regards to the freak offs and whatnot. Now, with hearing both sides, my assumption is he most definitely introduced her to this lifestyle.
For sure.
However, I think she liked it as well.
100%.
I think she grew to like it.
Yeah, she grew to like it. And I also think that she was, it's clear that she was abused. He definitely took advantage of her. She was a freak. She was a freak, and she got around. And the reason why I say that is because it was proven, like her timeline. So let's go through her timeline of men. She was initially with Ryan Leslie. She was with Ryan Leslie for 3 years. They were an item. They were living together. She had his initials tattooed on them, all of that. It was a thing. She cheated on Ryan Leslie with Diddy. She got with Diddy. She cheated on Diddy with Kid Cudi. Yep. She got with Michael B. Jordan at one point. She got with a football player at one point. They never named the football player. And then she got with Alex Fine. That's who she's married to now. And
not to cut you off, but Michael B, man, he sure love them hoes. But let's just move on from there. I'm sorry.
So, Alex Fine of it all. So Alex Fine was hired by Diddy to be her personal trainer. So she ended up having a relationship with Alex, and she cheated on Diddy with Alex. Then she ended up her and Diddy ended up splitting up, and she got with Alex. Then she ended up cheating on Alex with Diddy. So even and through the whole 11 years, of course, they were off and on, and of course, Diddy was cheating on her with other people as well. So it was just like a completely toxic relationship. It was a violent relationship. It was infidelity on both sides with the relationship. But she is not this damsel in distress that they were trying to paint her out to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl, she, at the end of the day, she wanted them freak outs as well. That was proven in the text messages, because I'm thinking of it like, if it was me, and if it's something that I just clearly don't want to do, but I'm only doing it for you, I'm not going to suggest to do it.
At least I took my receipt.
Hold on. There you go. So I'm not going to suggest to do it. And if you say, okay, well, we probably shouldn't do it, I'm gonna be like, okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump at the chance to not do it every time.
Right.
Even if I never tell you no when you bring it up, I would never suggest it, because it's something I don't want to do.
Exactly.
The fact that she was suggesting it, the fact that she was pushing it sometimes, the fact that she was requesting other ways to do it, because he was not the one, at least in the text messages, that ever requested to do it with a woman. She requested to do it with the woman. They only did it with a woman a handful of times, but you know, like,
because Diddy's a zesty brother.
yeah, but it's just like none of this, like some of this stuff is just not adding up to me. So I feel like the defense did a really good job with discrediting some of the stuff that she was saying. So then they get into the lawsuits of it all. So 2023 comes. 2023, mind you, she's married. She has 2 kids. They ended up moving in with her parents. And you know, they don't have the money like that, right? Yeah. So she is still battling her addiction. She goes to rehab. She claims that she started journaling, and then she turned it into a book. Then she sent it to Diddy, and she claims that she sent it to Diddy because she wanted some type of acknowledgement for what happened in their lives together. She never heard anything from them. So then she reached out to his right-hand man, which is the lady named KK. KK was like, ain't nobody reading that shit. And who wrote it for you? So now she's pissed. Now she gets a hold of a lawyer. Now here comes a lawsuit. So they sent the lawsuit complaint to them quietly. And she came up with this amount of $30 million. She said she just randomly picked the number. It wasn't no research or nothing behind it.
Yeah.
So with that lawsuit, they blew it off like, girl, bye. So with them blowing it off, that's when she officially filed. It became public. The whole world was able to read this complaint. Then he settled within 24 hours with her. She testified that the amount that she received, and she did receive it, is $20 million. So they settled for $20 million within 24 hours. But of course, this is what started the whole investigation. So if you go through the timeline, that was November of 2023 when she filed the lawsuit. This started the criminal investigation by the government. So then during spring break of 2024 is when his homes got raided. Then they took that evidence or whatever. Then by September of 2024 is when he got arrested. And they were in talks with his lawyer because they was like, okay, on this date, we're going to officially arrest you. So make sure that you're in New York at this time. So he came to New York a couple of days early. And then they ended up catching him before the date that they agreed upon for him to be arrested. And that's how they caught him in the lobby of that hotel. So that was the timeline or whatnot. And he's been in jail ever since. They tried 3 times to get him bail, but didn't. That it wasn't successful. And it wasn't because they thought he was a flight risk, even though he can go wherever he wants, but it was because of witness intimidation. So so she not only testified that she had got the 20 million from there, but then she also testified that this is what the general public did not know. She sued the Intercontinental as well. Mm-hmm. And with her suing the Intercontinental, they ended up negotiating a $10 million settlement. So she pretty much made out with $30 million. So that was testified and whatnot. Or she testified to all that and whatnot. So the defense is pretty much making it look like she was stone cold freak and she wanted the shit. She was with the shit. She is promiscuous and she's a cheater and this was a money grab. That's pretty much where they're going with the defense with that or whatever. So I feel like they did a good job with the way that they handled her or whatnot. But we shall see, after Cassie. And then this is the thing, because Cassie was on the witness stand for a few days with Cassie being on the witness stand those few days, they was pretty much thinking that it was gonna carry over to Monday, and because the defense was arguing like, you know, the prosecution had this much time with her, and y'all trying to rush us. This is his life on the line. He should have as ample amount of time with this witness as he needs. Well, when Friday came, the government had pretty much a doctor's note for her and was like, hey, y'all said she was going to be done by Friday. She needs to be done by Friday. No ifs, ands, or buts. This lady is not, she cannot be here longer than that. Like, this lady about to pop. Like, we got to get her up out of here. So they ended up finishing her Friday. After they finished her Friday,
you're gonna have to because of the whole everything that's been going on. Yeah, you probably don't want to say they finished her on Friday.
Well, they got done with her being on the witness stand Friday.
There we go. Yeah,
there we go. So yeah,
crazy. That was crazy work right there.
Right. Yeah, it did. When I tell you it's hard to maneuver through this shit, it's crazy. But so yeah, so they dismissed her Friday. So after they dismissed her, the next witness was the lady that took pictures of the hotel room at the hotel where Diddy got arrested. Now, remember I said that they picked him up a couple of days before the date that they agreed upon him being arrested. So she took pictures of the room and whatnot. Pretty much the room was set up for the Super Bowl of freak offs. They had baby oil everywhere. They had Astroglide everywhere. They had
Astroglide.
Time out, Lindsay. Astroglide is diabolical.
I said Astroglide is crazy. We already know
I'm about to rock
shit about the baby oil. Look, Astroglide is crazy. I'm
about to rocket this dick in your solar system. Astroglide. Anyway,
Astroglide. So
God damn, and I know what Astroglide is. God damn, these niggas is diabolical.
So check this out. Now, of course, I am summarizing to the T this whole situation, but Cassie went into grave detail about these freak offs. And one of the things that she did talk about was the baby oil in the Astroglide. She testified that there was nothing, because remember there was a rumor that they were saying that the baby oil was laced. She testified it was never laced. And she also testified that it was Astroglide, that they also use Astroglide as well. I had no clue what Astroglide was. So when I first heard it, I had to Google it because I'm like, what is Astroglide? Found out what it was. And I was like,
such
whoa.
a novice.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't need them in my freak offs. No, I'm playing.
You don't have freak offs. You don't have Diddy freak offs.
No, I don't have Diddy freak offs.
Sometimes
but,
you need it.
So not only do they have like an abundance of baby oil and Astroglide, but like she also testified that Diddy had a blow up pool and made her and it was all baby oil, made her get into the pool and whatnot. She also said that Diddy would want the baby oil to be warmed up.
Ooh,
yeah, and he will want an abundance of baby oil applied. And they would have to apply it in the upwards of every 5 minutes. He was like obsessed with baby oil. I mean, we obviously saw that when they raided his home, that he was obsessed with baby oil. But yeah, it had to be Johnson & Johnson. So just baby oil everywhere.
Now, how am I in it? What?
Right. Like literally, like why it can't be Family Dollar? No, he needs top of the line.
Johnson.
Right, like Johnson & Johnson or die. Like
yes.
So that was testified. So when this lady that works for, you know, the government or whatever. When she testified, she talked about the Astroglide, the baby oil, the lighting. There was specific lighting. There was a temperature that he wanted specifically, like, and they will always set up the rooms when it was a freak off to be like this. So the room was or the suite or whatever was completely set up for, like I said, the Super Bowl of freak offs. And on top of that, they talked about how the money was on the nightstand, which the money the money was by the door. It was $9,000 in an LV bag. And you pretty much take it on your way out.
A bag and some money? Okay.
And some money. So you take your money on the way out. So yeah, if you went into the bathroom, say for instance, you had to go use the bathroom, there was abundance of baby oil in there, so that once you got done doing your business in the bathroom, you can reapply it. It was everywhere.
Oh God.
Everywhere. They all the drugs were there, because that was another thing with the freak offs, that you had to be like ridiculously high. So all the drugs was there. So yeah, like I said, which in all fairness, if I'm about to get arrested and I don't know when I'm getting out, and I am like a stone cold freak, and this is my thing, I do freak offs, it makes sense for me to have one last hurrah. So I was just like, you know,
it makes fair. Sense if you're a fucking, if you're a dummy, like I
get it. I'm about to go to jail.
I get it.
At the same time, I'm sorry. What was you about to say, Brie?
Nah, I was just saying I understand. I get it. Like he didn't know if he was gonna be able to bond out or not, and he wasn't. So I get it.
I get it too. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fair. If I'm a druggie, if I'm a stone cold freak, and this is what I do is freak outs, I'm going to have the Super Bowl of freak outs. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, because I don't know when I'm fucking again. Like, I mean, just being fair.
You know when you fucking again. He's definitely. Listen, it's gonna be one of them things. What the Punisher say? Or excuse me, not the Punisher, but the dude from Watchmen. He said, "Y'all have a mistake. Y'all think I'm locked in here with y'all. Y'all locked up with me."
Right.
Let's get this whole thing into an understanding right now.
Right. But
Puffy know exactly when he fucking again.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but you just never know. You just never know. So like I said, it was fair, you know, but in the same breath, it's like they some craft, like the government is crafty. You know what I'm saying? They're very crafty, and they got him. So so they had her up there, and she testified to what she saw and whatnot. Obviously the pictures prove what she saw. Then Don Rashard, she comes up there, and Don Rashad, if that name doesn't sound familiar, she was in Danny Decane, and she was also in Diddy Dirty Money. She is also currently suing him as well. So she gets up there. They said that she walked in pissed off and everything. So of course, because it's not a jolly moment to be a witness to this type of case. So why wouldn't she walk in there pissed off? So she got up there, she testified. They asked her a couple of questions, and then they adjourned for the day. Now, the questions that they asked her, you know, was pretty much, did you see some of the things that you allege in your complaint and that you have been saying, you know? And she did. She said that she saw Diddy beat Cassie, and, you know, beating, even though he's not being charged with domestic violence, beating is a part of, you know, the sex trafficking. So they're trying to, you know, establish that pipeline or whatever. And they're saying that, or Don said, she came up with this story that she saw Diddy, she was at his home, and Cassie was making breakfast. And Diddy was like, "Bitch, where my food?" It came down there, took the pot, or took the skillet that she was cooking eggs on, and beat her with the skillet. Then
the fact that he hit her with the Bernadette. Bernadette, where's my goddamn food, Bernadette?
Man, yeah. And so after that, like the next day in the studio, Diddy pretty much in so many words threatened her that, you know, to keep your mouth shut because people come up missing when they talk about shit that they saw. The defense was pretty much like, objection, she's lying, because nowhere ever in life did Cassie say anything to this incident. Which, if there was a million and one incidences, why would Cassie be up there testifying to every single one? Like, if I got beat a million times, I'm not gonna remember every time.
And I'm on dope.
And I'm on dope, right? So it's like, Don could 100% be telling the truth, or she could not be 100% telling the truth. Like, we don't know, but just going off of the strength that Cassie did not mention this incident and Don did, doesn't automatically mean that that Don is lying.
That's true. I mean, shit, I just smoke weed, and it's probably been plenty of times I've been like, you ain't got my you ain't making shit. I don't smell no bacon or nothing. Nah, I don't do that.
I'm like, hello, you know we live.
I'm bullshitting. I don't do that.
But yeah, so so Ignite TV says Diddy innocent. I think it's too early to say that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
Let's not.
But I think the defense is doing a damn good job. Now I will say that they're making their money. They're definitely making their money. Another thing that I saw was that there's a lot of people that are wearing free Diddy t-shirts around the courthouse, and apparently they're getting paid $20 an hour to wear them shirts.
I'll get out the motherfuckers too then.
Yeah, and
my dignity.
And also,
what'd you say?
What'd you say, bro?
So that ain't enough money for my dignity.
It's not enough money.
I mean, $20 ain't nothing. But if I'm gonna sit there, and be a part of this shit with this to be watching it, if you're gonna pay me to watch it for wearing this shirt, fuck it.
It's not enough money for me. I'm gonna need at least 50.
I just don't give it's one of those things where and not that I don't give a fuck about the case, because the case is serious. But it's like, if a motherfucker say, hey man, $20, you're gonna be here for 8 hours, wear the shirt, I'm gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. Am I gonna parade around? Like, I'm gonna put it, I know me. I'm a hoodie ass nigga. So I'm gonna put the t-shirt on and put a hoodie right on top of it.
Like, no, we got hoodies too. We got hoodies too.
Right. Yeah, I don't need the hoodie. I got my own. But you give me the t-shirt.
Right. I'll take the t-shirt for nostalgic purposes, because I feel like that this is the trial of the century.
Yeah.
We're only 25 years into the century, but I feel like this is a fair assessment that this is the trial of the century. So, but yeah, so that's going on. There's a lot of people that's out there talking about free him. There's a lot of people out there saying that he is guilty as hell. Like I said, it's too early for me to say anything, because the defense is doing their job. Yeah.
I mean,
Ignite says to stand in front of a courthouse, Cash, Ninja's gonna be out there from 8 to 12 p.m. right?
You already know what it is. That's what I'm like, man.
Right.
Come on, I'm not gonna act like I'm one of these niggas that's above reproach.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, oh, that's what they doing. I'm gonna wear me a zip up and I'm gonna put that motherfucker on. And then every time I feel like it, I'm gonna zip that bitch back up. But if I need to pull that bitch down in order to get this extra 20, fuck it. Here you go, bro. You see it? All right, then I'm gonna zip the bitch back up. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna act like that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I get you. But there's a lot of things that's going on outside of specifically in the courtroom. Like people have been camping out for days to get into the actual courtroom. They have a courtroom and then they have an overflow room. There's a lot of media. There's new media, there's old media, there's in between media that's there. People have traveled from all over to come to this case. There's people that have been making money to stand in line for people, and they charge like $30 something an hour to stand in line. Now, apparently this is a lucrative business in New York because, you know, they got Broadway. So
Right.
they do
That's
this
different.
normally for that. Yeah, they do this normally for that. So
Mhm.
what sounds wild to us is actually
a natural
normal
thing.
business for them. Yeah.
But the
So
$30 an hour
Broadway
plus
shows and the
$20 an
big
hour for wearing a shirt.
It's being a
Man,
line holder. It's different than wearing this shirt and we gonna pay it. That's a different thing. That
yeah,
is.
yeah, that's two totally different things, right?
Yeah.
But
if I can do both, I'm gonna do both. I'm not even gonna hold y'all.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And what else is going on? Of course they upcharge the hotel rate. There's people that spending thousands of dollars to be there to stay in hotels, and it's already pretty expensive to stay in hotels in New York. So they've upcharged that like it's a special event, because it is. And you know, and then the fees for the like the plane and stuff like that was an upcharge. What else? There's a lot of people that have been doing the Lord's work in regards to covering this case. There is a guy on Twitter. He's the only one that they have allowed to have his phone. And he's been doing pretty much the transcript and tweets for this. And there's people that have been reading his tweets on Twitter. I've watched Chronicle Speaks. She reads the tweets every day. And I watched Willie D, you know, Willie D from the famous Ghetto Boys. I watched his video one time where he was reading the tweets. Other people that are in the courtroom that have been making daily videos about their experience is Armand Wiggins. He does a phenomenal job. Make It Make Sense. He does a good job as well. Tisa Tells, she does a great job as well. And they all do different, they're all doing it different ways. So I've been watching them daily. So shout out to all of them if you want like daily coverage of it from people that are actually in the courtroom or in the overflow room. Those are some good go-tos. And then Law and Crime. Law and Crime has been doing a good job too. If you want more of an official, you know, reporting, Law and Crime is a good one as well. So let's see. Ignite TV says it's not illegal to like men butt sauce. No, it's not. That's not what he's on trial for.
Ignite.
Also,
my dude, like I'm gonna need you to turn that down a little bit.
I mean, but he's right. It's not illegal.
You're right. You're 100% right, my dude. But I'm just saying, like, this is not what we talking about.
Yeah.
You put a flagship on something that we ain't even touched yet.
Yeah, because they haven't talked about the men butt sauce. They haven't talked about that.
Jesus Christ, that ain't even had nothing to shit to do with Astro Glide, my nigga. You just you put yourself out there. So whatever happens.
So Ignite TV also says Puff being slandered. And then he also says it's not illegal to be a freak. No, you are 100% correct.
100% correct. Yeah.
It is.
No.
If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. What is illegal is to pay somebody. Yeah, to hold people hostage is definitely illegal, and to pay somebody to cross state lines specifically for sex. That's trafficking. That's what they're proving. That's what they're trying to prove that he's done. They're trying to prove the kidnapping charges, and they're trying to prove the RICO charges because they're saying it was a whole organization.
And it had to be because, okay, go ahead, Lindsay, go ahead. And then I you know, because when I want to go, I got some, I ain't been on here, so I'm going to say something. So I want everybody to go. So
Listen. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you put your 12 gauge out there and go bow, bow, bow.
Right. Go ahead and cook.
I'm sexy red. Bow, bow, bow. That's who I heard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly what I want you to do, Brie.
Well, I ain't her. Shout out to her, but I ain't that. Be a little too hood for everybody. Nah.
We're in Kansas City, not in
St. Louis.
We're classy, babes.
Listen, we will not do Missouri slander. I've said that plenty of times.
So Ignite TV says, but I meet girls on Instagram and pay for to come see me and we have sex. That's illegal.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You just told on yourself, so you need to get off of here.
I'm sorry, Ignite.
You just told on yourself, so I'm about to get off of here because you on bullshit and I ain't got time.
Yeah, like, listen, Ignite, if that's the type of time you want to be on, I'm going to tell you right now, it's fucking illegal, my dude. Like, so if they want to press the issue.
Let me say my spills. I don't have anything to do with this. This is his opinion. I don't condone or agree with any of this. Matter of fact, I want to get this out there since we talking. No, absolutely not. McKnight is not what my Bree agrees with. Absolutely not. Those are his thoughts. I don't even know this person. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
He says, how is that illegal? Yeah, he says, how is that illegal? Social media is meeting people. It's not illegal. Okay, so let's break this down. Meeting people off the internet, going across the country to meet people, is not illegal. That's not illegal. But when you are specifically saying, I am going to pay you for sex, that's prostitution. That is illegal. Then when you also put the whole meeting, hey, I'm gonna fly you from here to there specifically for sex that I am going to specifically pay you for, when all of that is established, that is sex trafficking.
Yes, that becomes illegal.
That's where the legal part comes in. Now, if you just so happen to meet somebody online and you fly them from point A to point B and y'all just so happen to have sex and y'all just so happen to give money, but you're not paying for it. It's just like you're giving money, like that's not illegal.
Yeah, it's a fine loophole. What you did is put yourself in a trick bag, my dude.
So
I mean, people do this every day.
Yeah.
But when you start if you were saying right now, like you were saying, I'm gonna take this person from Alabama to fucking whatever the fuck Wisconsin, and I have document that says I'm taking you here so I can put my dick in your face, that becomes an illegal matter.
When you're paying for it.
When you're paying for it.
When you're paying, because people get flued out every day.
Yeah.
So
everybody get flown out, but when you say I'm gonna pay you $5,000 so you can fart in my mouth and fucking New Jersey, that becomes an illegal event, sir.
Yeah. That's when it becomes.
You can look it up.
Yeah. So he said, where's the statute? It depends on the state, what the statute is, and then when you get the flying across state lines, it's a Fed case, and that's the reason why Diddy's in the Feds and it's not a state case. So I don't know the statute with the Feds. Yeah, I don't know the statute.
You could have flew over a state where everything that you trying to do, if you want a girl to piss on your chest, you flew her past the state where that shit is illegal.
Yeah.
And you didn't say it to her, and it's documented, I'm gonna pay you this amount of money for you to come over here and shit in my mouth. Like this is what I'm saying, Mr. Ignite. Like certain shit you can't do.
Yeah. So he said, "Oh, I didn't do that."
I bet you didn't.
I'll be macking. So yeah. So
now
that we got things clear. Yeah. So
my nigga, and I ain't gonna downplay you, my dude, but I'm gonna say right now, man, you You trying to cover up.
He sound like a cornball. But
Yeah,
he's
but then he
conversated.
says, I get him with, I don't know what
Was
he
that
gets him
too
with.
harsh?
You get them with what? With the money? With the money? You probably don't pay too much. We probably giving you the benefit of the doubt. You probably be like, I got $150.
So he finished it. He said, my lip, not my grip.
He a cornball. Womp womp.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds good, my guy. I hope you. I want. If you got a podcast or something, let me give you a shout out. I really want to holler at you.
Right. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, Mr. Ignite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that because it is kind of like a muddy water, because even with Cassie's testimony, she said that she didn't know it was illegal initially. You know,
right. She was 19 when they met, so she wasn't too bright.
She was 19. Yeah, she was 19 when they met, but
100% when all of this start coming out, because I'll double back into the whole thing of getting flown out. It was a lot of people getting controversy because they always felt like if I fly you out, I expect sex. And sometimes it is granted, but other times it's like it's a different ordeal if I fly you out and I tell you I'm paying you $2,000 because I want you to sit, I want you to lay down on top of the bed, and then I want to shove my dick in your face, and I'm gonna give you $3,000 for that. That is what that is the difference. That is when it becomes illegal.
Man, you didn't explain that to that man. Ain't nobody about to keep saying the same shit. That nigga know what he doing. Corny ass nigga.
No, but it's not just him, because it is a lot of people that don't understand why this is on trial.
I get it.
It's not necessarily.
We understand because we done said it 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Okay, so let's move on.
For you to call that nigga McKnight, I'm dying inside.
So let's move on.
Loving ass nigga gone somewhere.
So Bree, what are your thoughts about the Diddy case? I know you got a 12 gauge loaded. Go on ahead and let them choppers fly.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Oh, and you showed your face. You keep it at 100. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up, fam.
Right.
Hello, y'all. Oh shit.
I don't think she knew that she was on camera.
But I'm trying to it was kind of glitching a little bit. You know what I mean? So I was trying to fix that, and I was gonna leave and come back. But I first off want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
My opinions also, they don't affiliate with the group. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say nothing too ignorant. First off,
hold on. Really... Bree.
Yeah.
You're sounding real glitchy right now, so you may need to drop out and come back in. So while she's doing that, Ignite did ask to drop the link. I will drop the link here in a second. Once we get our thoughts out, I'll drop the link and you can come up. But Lily, while Bree is fixing that, you go on ahead and drop your thoughts.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Puffy is a very freaky guy.
Freaky ass nigga. He is 69 guy.
69 guy. Listen, Puffy got some shit going on with Cassie. The shit that's going on with Cassie. 2 things can be true. 1, that she's been abused. 2 is sometimes she didn't want it. At the same time, another 2 things can be true. That she initiated a lot of the shit and then she was with the shit. I don't believe that it was one of those things where she came in understanding what was going on, but when she figured out what was going on, she was totally with the shit.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and it's for her testimony to be damning to Puffy, for me, it's not at all. It's not damning to Puffy at all. What it's saying is, you figured out what was going on. You was in accordance with it. Not only was you in accordance with it, sometimes you rather deal with that shit than to just deal with an addict, period. You know, because a lot of people are downplaying that these two motherfuckers was fucking strung out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep this a total bean. I always look into the whole picture. These are two strung out individuals. And I don't know if anybody that's listening to us right now ever dealt with addicts. Addicts are willing to do what the fuck ever to do to continue to get high. So let's just put that in perspective. Will I say Puffy didn't abuse her? No, I will not. I'm one of those people that been saying that Puffy's a monster and we should set our monsters out there. I'm getting an understanding through this court case that it was one of those things where not only is Puffy a monster, Puffy was an addict. So a monster plus an addict is a dangerous individual to deal with. But at the same time, it was a lot of people, including Cassie, who was sugarcoating and making sure that Puffy looked like Puffy for that 11 years. She's not going to act like, for me, it's just my opinion. She's not going to act like that whole 11 years she was a victim. No, she was a part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just me wrapping it up. My sidebar is this. Puffy, you a sick Negro. My dude, to rub a man's ejaculate on your nipples lets me know that it is something wrong. Not only if it come in her on or in her or on her, do you mean that if they came in her, you put her on top of you and waited for that shit to drip down your chest like candle wax? You are a sick ass nigga. Like, what the?
And that's what got you off.
And that's what got you off. That's what got your dick hard, my nigga. It is liquor store pills. I don't. It's not even
but check this out.
But
check this out. Do you know there's levels to freakiness? Do you know that's like level 2000?
That is
so. You got to get to level 2000. So do you realize how much freaky shit you gotta go through to get to that point? Like, that's crazy.
This lady literally had to stand on top of you and squeeze the Charmin out of her shit. Are we not gonna address this? Like, because I get the legal shit, but you know this the ish we talk, so we gonna make a joke out of this. You mean to fucking tell me? You mean to tell me, Puffy? It was either she was on top of you, straddled and milking herself, or you literally was just rubbing your nipples across wherever they bust a nut at. You a wild ass nigga, man.
Or she had to go and retrieve it herself and put it on him.
Yeah, you are my nigga.
Puff. So check this out. So one of the things that the escort testified to was that there was one particular time where he said he could not finish. So he faked it. And when they went into the room, shortly after, Diddy came back and was like, "You said you finished, but where is it?" It's like, damn. And at that point, everybody was like, "Well, what the fuck y'all doing in that room?" And then when Cassie testified what they was doing in that room, when I tell you, I literally screamed.
See, this is why I couldn't be in the courtroom or the overflow, because I would have bust out. Because full transparency, even the one I know what it is to be fucking and you tired and you just don't bust a nut. Like, my nigga, I'm tired. You got me off an E pill, then you got I work out every day. I'm my shit good. Like, I'm just fucking tired. Ain't no nut coming out. So you mean to tell me you come back out the room like, "Hey man, what the fuck you lying, bro?" I like, what?
Yeah.
What am I supposed like at this point?
And money gets deducted if you don't complete.
Yeesh.
like, God, listen.
Lily quit saying that on the
You
sun.
got me fucking for hours, nigga. I will. If it's $9,000, listen, I'll just take $3,000 for the day. I'm fucking tired, unless you want me to sit here for hours, I'm fucking tired, my nigga.
Right. I'm gonna
It's
make
one
it.
thing to be, and you know what I'm saying? Moment of transparency. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with everybody just listening to us. One thing to be locked and loaded and ready. It's another thing that, you know what I'm saying, if we are taking drugs and doing shit together. I don't know if anybody was a part of the Theist Nation like I was growing up. But some of those situations, man, yeah, your dick just hard. You ain't busting a nut.
No, I don't know nothing about that. I wasn't a part of. No,
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't part of this nation. Yeah.
I was, and I couldn't.
mean, I like Mac
but I would
Jones,
do it.
but I
would
wouldn't bitch.
and put it in some juice because I couldn't physically take that shit because it would make me sick. So
I know a lot of people that was. It was a thing. It ain't like what you doing. Yeah, it was a thing. It's not like what you doing, like what you said. I was like, ugh. I know I just wasn't on it. I was at home with my children, so nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't have no children until last year, so I was out here doing my shit.
Right. I get it. You wasn't the only one.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100, like, and I'm not even an escort, nigga. Like, what the fuck? I was really smoking. This nigga working out every day, making sure his body good. And then Puffy make you take an ecstasy pill.
And it's pure ecstasy too, straight from
right.
Look, come on, man, you're not busting no nut. That's why it was hours. That's why those freak offs last for hours.
Right.
That's horrible.
It was pure. It wasn't cut or nothing.
Straight from ecstasy land or wherever you get them.
Right. Straight from the island of X.
He got
I remember being a kid. I used to tell bitches, I'll give you $20 if you put this motherfucker down, because you couldn't.
Freaky ass nigga, you a 69 guy.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna. I always tell people I don't give a fuck about putting myself out here, because that was my past, and I can jump on that shit and really respect what it is. Now, if you get 20 minutes out of me, you better like it.
I'm gonna give you the best 20 minutes of your life,
man.
All you need is 2.5, maybe even 4.
Right? Be one of the married nigga.
That's why I'm like, man, shit. But back then, shit. When they was doing that shit, I was doing that shit. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, nah, yeah. And then especially if you seeing some horrific shit, like, I ain't about to even, if I'm high off of, you know what I'm saying? If I'm high on my mind, but I see you beating a bitch ass, like, my dick ain't getting hard for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to turn around and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this. Bro, you got me fucked up. I don't know.
Right. This bitch is bleeding on your dick and you talking about, like, you want me to complete?
Yeah, like, I'm not about to do that, man. Come on, man. This bitch gotta.
Like, she's not bleeding because I didn't hit something up there. She's bleeding because you literally hit her face. And now she got a busted lip. That's not attractive. At the very lowest of keys, that's not attractive.
That's what I'm like, man, you got this bitch looking like Rahman Hassim. I'm not about to fuck this bitch. This bitch got a welt on top of her eye that looks like an eye. And you expect me to put my dick in her. Like, bro, I'm not about to do that. Y'all
right, you telling me to kiss her in the mouth with a busted lip.
for being here.
Right. You telling me to kiss her in the mouth with a busted lip. I don't want to do that. Then there was another thing that he testified was that because, like I said, the majority of the time they were having sex unprotected. And he was kind of getting nervous, you know, with doing that. And so he was like, he didn't want to, you know, hit her no more raw. And he wanted her medical records. And he showed his medical records and he never got her medical records. And me and Bree was talking earlier in the week about this. I was just like, I bet money she got herpes.
Oh man, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Like,
she definitely got that.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like,
she definitely got that nasty women's disease.
When she said she had sores in her mouth because of the dick sucking,
Okay, and Lily, I'm gonna stop you right there because this is where I need to interject. This is where it's time.
Yep,
Right,
go ahead, Bree.
right there. So first off, uh, I said that part about my thoughts, and these are my opinions. I I'm at the point where with the case, I don't. I'm not discrediting nothing that happened to her, and he is a monster because he preyed on this person at 19,
Yeah,
and
100%. 100%.
he
Yeah.
definitely is. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not. He is. He got too much. That's what happens though when you have too much money. Me, you, and Lindsay can't afford to have a freak off for 96 hours. Somebody gonna have to tap out and go to work. That's the business
Exactly.
side.
You are 100% correct.
So he has
Much as
time.
I want to stay here.
Yeah, time, time, and all the money to where he can make this thing happen. That man end up getting a God complex, and that's why he needs to be behind bars. Do I think he gonna get 50 years? Absolutely not. I think he might have to do 20 at best, and that's at best. That's at best. He might get 5.
I said 10. I said he gonna if everything comes out the way it comes out, especially with the tapes. If they go further into this trial and they start pulling out tapes with real celebrities, because that's one thing I keep telling people. This is a RICO case. This is the first RICO case where I only see one name on it. So it's other people, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be coming out. If these people start coming out and saying some shit, that nigga's gonna at least get 10.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So that's one thing, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go from with Cassie. When we went down the timeline, me and Lindsay discussed it. He would have did the right thing when she asked the very first time. He would still be having them freak offs.
Oh yeah.
When she said I need 30 million, he would have been like, all right. She And don't get me wrong, you can't immediately pay nobody because once you be like, oh, you can give me 30, well, now I need 90. You know what I mean? It can turn into something else. But if he would have complied, wouldn't have get this. See, Cassie is past the point of no return with this man. She don't give a damn. She got her 30 million. She asked for it, she got it. She already got it. So now at this point, him going to jail will be icing on the cake. Now we know that this nigga is disgusting. The fact that she even admitted to having these two men put their things in her mouth at the same time to where the friction from it caused sores. They basically then shredded weed at the roof of this woman's mouth. And she couldn't close her mouth. No medicine was working. They didn't kept it crunching this bitch entire mouth in the inside. And she admitted that she's at the point to no return. She wants to see him burn. She is mad. I think if he would have gave her that money in the beginning, she probably would have extorted him for another 10 or 20 million over the years, and that would have been it. But since he said no, she went full throttle on
Yeah.
him.
When
I'm gonna be
she
honest
put
with
that whole
you.
flag down and said, "Hey man, you gonna pay me for this."
I'm gonna be honest with you. Notorious Big said he gave them Diddy got his nickname from him because he was Diddy Kong. Like the monkey, Donkey Kong, he got a son, Diddy Kong. He said that nigga could be going off and he's so little because Biggie's bigger than him. So he's looking like this little nigga is hard. He said he's like, this nigga is ill. In that interview with him laying back where you can really see his eye was cocked like a pistol. That's when he was talking about it. He was like, he was like, Diddy go hard. So he's being a monster.
To your point, like I said, one of the people I watched was Willie D. Shout out to Willie D of the famous Ghetto Boys. He said that Diddy was known for fighting niggas. So he his reputation preceded himself for fighting niggas. So the fact that he fight niggas and bitches. Like his hands is rated E. So to your point, like that was enough. Yeah, like
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, it because certain things start coming out. Like we all know, like even without this being in court, we all know, we all found out a couple of things about Diddy. One thing about Diddy is we all found out that Diddy actually put a bomb in Kid Cudi's car. We also know Diddy being in an uproar, pissed on Drake at a fucking event. Like nigga pulled his dick out and pissed on Drake. Like this is something that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
We also know that Diddy and J. Cole literally had a fight. This nigga don't give a, and then let's not even think of, and I'm gonna talk about the fourth thing.
He fought J. Cole, that nigga
He
tripping.
was randomly about to fight a stranger in a Joker costume.
Nah, that wasn't a
It's like
stranger,
he
that was
forgot.
the dude from Power.
Yeah, that was a dude from Power. It's like he forgot he was in the Joker costume though. Like, because I think
they
he worked
said
the
he
Joker.
took it too far at that
Yeah.
time. They was like he
Yeah,
no.
Diddy took it too far, and the dude was looking at him like, "Are you serious? Or are you still in the role?" Like,
Yeah. So like,
but the fact that you said he fought Jermaine. Jermaine, you fought the Erykah Badu a rap. Like, what did he do to make you fight him? Why did
you put hands on J. Cole?
Right.
And you know, all due respect to J. Cole, shout out to J. Cole. He said J. Cole held his own.
Cool. He's so chill.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get the reference. I get where you were going with that. It's just funny to hear he fought the Erykah Badu of rap.
If he didn't have that block, he's in that. I'm chilling. I'm about to rap. I'm gonna spit some shit. Y'all want to hear it? So how did this man make you mad?
Like, yeah, like, cause you got to remember. You know what I'm saying? I'll go with your reference. This is the Erykah Badu of rap. This nigga also from the Ville, so this nigga know how to throw hands.
Oh yeah, so that part, because Erykah Badu can throw hands, but she's still chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I'm chilling. I ain't trying to bother you, and you try to throw hands with me, and then I put my motherfucking hands on you, and then y'all try to sweep it under the rug. But everybody knows, like, you just dealt with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? That just lets you know what type of dude Puffy is.
And that's what goes back, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit on Sunday. That go back to that God complex. All money ain't good money.
100%. 100%.
Agreed.
Period. Like, this man turned into a monster. He let this money make him turn into a monster. When he said he wasn't going back after them 15 roaches, that was the day that nigga sold his soul. When he said them 15 roaches was on his face, he wasn't going back to poverty and all that. I remember he said that a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, nope, and I guess he was gonna do anything to do it to keep it, and he turned into a person where he had so much money he thought he was God. See, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I don't think nobody, the average person right now, I think everybody's doing pretty decent, able to pay their bills in this economy. Is a blessing. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. But at the same time, we don't know how it is to have the $900 billion.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah. But that's the part that kills me about the situation, because they're making it seem like this consumed his life. He was so much engulfed in this lifestyle. But I'm like, how did he have time to be a good father? How did he have time to build this big enterprise of legit money? Like, how did he have time to do all of this and still be this stone cold freak where his mind was so engulfed in drugs and freak offs? Because that's the way that they're painting the picture. And I'm just like, that's the part that's not connecting to me 100%.
Okay.
I don't think it was as deep as they portraying. I don't think it was as deep as they portraying. I think that's why that nigga had him for hours, because then was the time frames he can get him in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My thing is, because I'll take that and then I'll raise you with this. The BTK killer, serial killer that was here, was a family man and also a working man, and also found time to fucking kidnap and harbor bitches, and then also had time to write letters to the police department to say y'all can't catch me.
Yeah,
Monsters find time.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, and that's 100% believable.
Yeah, and then
But
he, like I said, we would have to tap out and go to work. This nigga could do this shit for 3 years and still be good.
Yeah.
Don't go inside Bad Boy Studios. Don't make another hit record. Don't do shit. He just freaking for 3 years straight. He can keep doing it for the rest of his life. I think he need to be in jail. I'm glad he got caught. I'm glad that woman got pissed off to where because I don't think she's lying about everything. I think that she
I don't
was.
either.
I do
I
think
mean,
that she did turn into where she liked it, them freak offs, but y'all have to remember sometimes victims do that. You
That
know
is
what I
true.
mean? It
That's
can
true.
ignite something in them. I ain't saying she wasn't a freak before, and I'm not gonna judge her off her past because everybody you didn't see me with don't mean we had sex. So that's one. So I
Oh,
can't
I'm glad
judge
you
her.
said that because I be telling people that now too. Because motherfuckers be
Like,
like, "You used to hang out with such and such." That's it. We hung out. Don't put that jacket on me, nigga.
yeah,
right.
I can't throw that case on her because that goes from everybody that people didn't see we met don't mean we messed around. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not
And
gonna throw
then
that on her.
and it's the
Not gonna sit
opposite
here
too,
I'm not gonna say she's innocent either, but I do not think she was the level she is now to where she's ruining her husband's life.
And that's I feel sorry for Alex Fine.
Because he's fucking her 90 going north. He has no choice. If she was uninterested in sex after this, she wouldn't have 3 kids, so she'd still be wanting to fuck.
Did she a freak? Like that,
So,
that,
but
that, that
I think that it's something that I feel sorry for him because I feel sorry for him, but him and her have enough money to where they don't have to be around none of us no more forever and be cool. They can go to Thailand. They can go to White Lotus, Thailand and live.
you went to direct.
Right, that was very specific.
Yeah.
They can go here and don't have to worry about the shit that
I
we
mean,
got
because I
Right.
just
going
watched
on right
White
now.
Lotus.
Because they 30 million to the good.
Right,
Watched
right.
White Lotus on
Holla at
HBO.
me. I got a good real estate agent. She'll hook you up. You can
Nope,
go
I just
right
watched
here.
White Lotus on HBO. Shout out to HBO. It's not just TV, it's HBO. That's a real thing. Because White Lotus was awesome. All of them. And White Lotus, Thailand. Hey, them men was going over there committing crimes, living life like it's golden. They can go over there, chill, and don't have to worry about nothing. But in all seriousness, I do feel sorry for her. I think that she definitely is going to continue to need help. I don't think this is gonna be healthy for her.
It's
Doing
definitely an
all of
ongoing
this,
thing.
you know what I mean?
Listen now, and I don't want to be disrespectful to Cassie in any way. But I will say this: the things that she endured and the things that she went through, 100%, I agree with y'all. She's gonna have to seek help through it, or she's gonna end up, and this is just my opinion, she's gonna end up doing the same thing because now she has $30 million.
Yeah, you're right.
If she doesn't really peer into actually what happened to her, like actually peer into it and like know where the deception was and know where she lost herself, if she doesn't figure that out, she's gonna end up doing the same thing. Her husband probably right now is like, shit, I hope all this don't come out because I just paid a nigga like $500 to piss in her mouth, like while pregnant, like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not, and I'm not. I know it sounds like a joke, but for real.
I mean,
Like,
I can
you did
see
this
what
shit
you're
for
saying. So
11
I didn't
years.
laugh
You don't think
because
that shit is something that's in her now?
It's still in her.
Did it for 11 years.
Yeah.
I know motherfuckers who worked for Taco Bell for 6 months and still know how to make a fucking chalupa 15 years later. Shit stays on.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And she was so young and so early into her sex life when all this stuff was introduced that starts to become a part of you and you carry that with your other sexual partners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you think that white man ain't experienced none of that freak off shit?
Oh yeah, he getting it. Yeah.
Man, come on, man. That man is living life like it's gold. That's why, I mean, as much as we want to say, damn, I feel bad for him, man, his freak is at 100 It's been at 100. They got 3 kids already. They know what I'm saying. Like he already know what type of time she on. He done brought niggas to the table. He done brought bitches to the table. He done did what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. They could very well be much doing that because if she's not and getting help she needs, like continuous help, because that's something that, you know what I mean, like something. I think that like those text messages where they was like, "Would she want to do the freak offs?" Yeah, by then she did want to do them.
Yeah. She liked that shit. Like I'm not of the belief that she just 100% was not with the shit, because again, the text messages prove otherwise. But I am of the belief that he definitely introduced her to that shit, and I am of the belief that she still carries part of it with her. Now, she also is carrying a lot of hurt, pain, resentment, embarrassment. You know, she still was carrying that shit, and she had a suicide attempt in 2023. You know what I'm saying? As early as late as 2023. So it's like,
Because it's still there, it's still lingering.
yeah, it's
one of those
still
things
in
where
her.
if it comes out,
Yeah.
if it comes out, man, that's something you have to talk to your kids about.
Yeah.
You know, I get with her husband. I'm never gonna downplay her husband, but it's something that you have to talk to your children about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people get to the human frame of. At one point, my children, once they get a certain age, they're gonna start asking questions and they're gonna start having resentment over shit. So I have a conversation with them about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't think people really look at the big picture of shit like that. I know just for just for context of it, I had a situation where at my job where I was like, damn, like I have to rectify this shit, because if something happens, I would have to explain to my son why this happened. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just a nigga that work a 9 to 5. I could imagine how it feels for her kids to be 15, 16, 17 and start being like, hey man, this shit's all over the internet and why, what's going on with you, mama? You a hoe for real? And I gotta sit you down and explain what happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then just imagine if all of this shit went on and she's holding all of this in and she's dealing with all this pain and trauma and all this kind of stuff, and then every time she turn on the radio, it's a Diddy song.
It's a Diddy song.
Or it's somebody that's related musically to Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And then he turned around and he get this Lifetime Achievement Award and he mentions my name. You know what I'm saying? So it's trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma, to where she's like, you know what, fuck it. Like, take care of my babies. I'm out.
Yeah,
He's horrible. He is horrible.
I can get that.
It's sad. It's really sad. And you can say what you want about Cassie, but at the end of the day, she is a victim.
She very much is.
She is a victim.
She is. Even if he would have caught her at 29, she
Yeah.
still is. Like,
Yeah.
that's where he
I don't
turns
believe-
into a monster.
Yeah, nobody should deny Cassie being a victim. If you're denying Cassie being a victim, you are one of those people that are a part of a problem. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't get the Munchausen syndrome of jumping into it, but I will say she is a victim of this. And she's a victim of, like Bree said, a man that had a God complex and literally brainwashed the people that he was around.
Money. He had enough money to where you could be like, oh man, like let's just say all 3 of us was over his house. We just pretending we was over there and we walked into a room and seen him doing like stealing on her. Not even nothing nasty, just cocked back and stuck her one. And we be like, oh shit, because we not used to that or think he would do that. When we leave, we gonna get a 10 band with a Louis Vuitton bag because we seen it. He has enough money to make people be like, I didn't see a damn thing because I ain't gonna hold you. If he would have been like, hey, since you seen me steal on her, how's about $50,000? I wouldn't be like, that's exactly the noise I would make and be like, well, I mean, what did she do? Did she
You
charge
know,
you?
and you know what? I'm gonna keep it a total. I'm gonna keep it a total bean with you, because that be the thing I be trying to tell people. Because everybody want to say what they would do. You're not a part of that situation. If you were a part of that situation, it would be a whole different mindset you were in. If you were an upcoming artist, or you were trying to make it, and you actually got to be at a Puffy party or whatever, and you seen that shit, a lot of people would have shut the fuck up. I'm gonna tell, and the honest of honesties, I'll say this, because I grew up with my mother being abused. If I would have seen him stiller like that, I would have stole him, and then that's when, you know what I'm saying, I probably either I would have ended my career, or it would have been one of those things where they would have paid me to fuck off. Because I wouldn't have said shit. I'm gonna keep it 100. If they would have gave me some racks not to say nothing, I wouldn't have said nothing. Just like J. Cole did for a long time.
If I
J.
go
Cole didn't mention
somebody,
a lot of shit because J. Cole beat the shit out of Puffy, and then they turned around and was like, "We're gonna give you some money not to say nothing about this situation."
I ain't gonna hold you. If I walk in somebody's house right now that live here, that's a regular, degular, schmegular person, and I see them stealing on their woman, I ain't gonna say shit. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, tell Ebony no, do me no.
No, you know what? As a regular schmegular person, even being in those situations, if I see you, if I deem what you're doing is too much or too aggressive to a woman, I automatically intervene, and that's just because of the trauma I went through.
I get it, but I've also been the person that's intervened and also end up almost having to fight the girl for intervening. So absolutely not.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm one of those people that I tell people all the time, don't get in the dick and pussy business. I said that before you even got on this. You know what I'm saying? Got on here, because I don't
get
deal
me
in the dick and
wrong.
pussy
Now
business.
let me clear it up because it is on the internet. It's on Beyonce's internet. So at the end of the day, if I seen somebody get stole on, am I gonna say anything? No. But if I walk past and see somebody just beating the shit out of a woman, I am gonna call the authorities. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna jump in because at the end of the day, I'm a woman. And if I see another woman on the ground, what make you think I
And
might
that's it, and that's 100% respectful. And I know what I'm saying. That's one of the things I be telling. I get that. For
now
me, I'm not gonna. I won't call the police or anything of that nature unless it's just too much abuse. Like if I go in there and she just pummeled, then yeah, you gotta call the police. That's fucked up. But what I will do is I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna stop that shit, and then I'm gonna go
if
about my
you're a
business. And that's
man.
just because of the trauma I went through.
But it don't matter. You're a man. If I was a man, I would stop. I would be like, "Hey, what?" But you're not gonna punch me. Ain't two bitches ain't gonna get beat up. The police ain't coming to two. You know what I mean? I didn't stumbled up getting beat up. No, I'm not. I'm about to call the police.
Yeah,
And I know that
I
might
get
sound
that.
insensitive, but like it depends on the situation.
it,
Yeah,
it depends on the situation. It depends on the person.
exactly.
It's a touchy subject to intervene in a situation like that because the shit can't get turned on you, and we have seen countless times when the shit gets turned on the third party and the third party loses their life trying to be a good Samaritan. So it's hard. It's a hard situation to witness, and it's a hard situation to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
know?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me
situation.
wrong. I'm gonna say something. Like if I
Yeah.
go over y'all's house and one of y'all's homeboys hit his homegirl, I'm definitely exiting and I'm gonna be like, hey, he up there beating up his bitch and I'm leaving. Excuse me, let me not say that. He's up there fighting his woman. Or
Even if you say that, like if me and you in a situation and you said that, the first thing I'm gonna do is go up there and be like, "Hey, bro, you tripping? Let that bitch go."
Oh, but I'm still leaving because the police is coming. And
Like, yeah, you supposed to. What I'm doing is I'm going up there and I'm saying, "Hey, man, let that bitch go. Like, go." I'm just one, and that's no. I'm not trying to act like I'm super thorough. I'm a 5'7" nigga. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not gonna let. I'm going to be the one to be like, "Hey, man, bro, you tripping now? If you swing on me, it's a dangerous situation because I mean you dealing with a honey badger at that point. I know what I'm saying. Like, you're not about to steal on me because you want to steal on this bitch. I'm not this bitch. I don't know what this bitch did to you. But what I need you to do as my homeboy is not put yourself in a bad predicament. So,
or at least not do the shit while I'm around.
Yeah, like I'm gonna need you to get the. I'm gonna need you to get the fuck up out of here. And I mean, that's just, you know what I'm saying, my thing. I've been in situations like that. I even, hell, I'm just being 100. I've been in a situation where, man, I was about 12 years old. Me and my mother was driving down the street, and I'll never forget, because we was on Independence Avenue, because we had just left my auntie's house. And she watched a man snatch up a woman and slap her. My mother spent the car in the middle of the street and jumped out that motherfucker and was like, you better leave her alone. And as soon as he said something, I jumped out the car too, because what you not about to do is say nothing to my mama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. Like, at 12, I know I ain't gonna give you no Fat Joe story. Like, I grabbed a machete and I was fucking this grown man up and he left. Nah, we would have both got our ass beat if he was on that type of time. But but because of what I've been through, you are not gonna say nothing to my mama, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which is how it should be.
I get it, but yeah, nah. See, I feel sorry for Diddy's kids. I'm really kind of leaning towards those oldest boys and was aware of all of this, especially Justin and Quincy. I
don't think they knew the extent, because who's gonna tell their kids the
I don't
extent?
think
Who's gonna tell anybody?
They definitely didn't know that their daddy was milking a nut out of a woman's vagina.
No, they didn't know the deep.
They didn't know
but
that.
I definitely think they knew about something. I know they probably was like, damn, this nigga didn't invited us to the Bahamas. He been in his room for 2 days. You know what I mean? Like,
they knew that.
I do think that took place there.
There's so much shit that came out because of this.
Yeah.
I even watched a podcast with a guy who's in Miami. He what he does is clean houses, and he was saying like he was getting paid $6,000 a day to make sure that Puffy's house was cleaned, and he was like the shit that he had to clean up was crazy.
I believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's ugh. You know, it's you really have to pick and choose what you believe and what you don't believe, which I'm sure that's what the jury is going through. You know what I'm saying? Like picking and choosing, because there's some things where it's like, okay, I believe this 100%, and then some things it's like, now I'm looking at you with the side eye, because bitch, why are you still here? You know what I'm saying? Now you want to come out? Now all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
But I think, and this is where this comes in for me. Because I had to say, well, what made her say something now? She asked the nigga politely for $30 million and he said no. So now I'm telling on you. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I would do. I'd be like, oh, okay. And now I'm telling. Now,
but I'm not even talking about her. I'm talking about Don.
Okay.
Don had been, remember, if you were an avid watcher of Making the Band like I was, remember when he disbanded Danity Kane, fired everybody except for Don.
Yeah.
Don was the one he kept. Don was the one he created a whole new group with. You know what I'm saying? He's been getting money with Don for years, and then all of a sudden they cut ties for whatever the case may be. That still ain't came out why they cut ties. But now you're jumping on the bandwagon of everybody else.
She's
that
mad.
is putting out, you know,
money got stopped. Money stopped.
Yeah,
so,
she's mad.
So even going back to all of these people, from Bill Cosby to R. Kelly, to I always integrate this, and I tell people that's why people need to make sure that whatever type of deviant shit you own, either you seek therapy and get that shit in check, because you cannot play with the human system. Because once money stops coming, niggas start telling. That's just is what it is. We even on the lowest form of it, we see that shit. We know niggas that was in the streets for years dealing with individuals, and as soon as that individual turns another leaf and stops doing that, we all watch how much his business gets put out there.
Yeah, now the
because the money's not flowing no more.
Right now, the extortion comes.
Yeah,
so my question:
this is just regular geographics when it comes to that shit.
Yeah,
motherfuckers are willing to always hold your secrets when you're paying them, and then when the money stops, that's when shit starts coming out.
Right. So my question to the panel is this: do we care about the intent if what they're telling is the truth? Meaning, as far as like Don is concerned, because when Don's lawsuit first dropped, I was like, fuck, because I know how long she had been dealing with Diddy, and I know that she was real, like their business was intertwined real closely for a while. So I'm like, she had to have seen a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? She had to have been witness to a lot of things. So her intention, because you kept quiet for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you kept quiet when the accusations start coming and the lawsuits start dropping for a while. And then all of a sudden your lawsuit dropped. So it's like your intentions don't look pure in regards to your lawsuit, but what you can be saying can be 1000% the God honest truth.
It is.
Do we care about the intention behind the lawsuit if what she's saying is the truth?
What you got to say, Bree?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. If you was Diddy defense, of course you're going to say, yeah, so what made you wait so long to say something? And at the end of the day, my response would be, it don't matter, it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
Okay.
But Lily, what were you going to say?
So I'll just reintegrate what I said. Is one of those things where it was like, boom, yeah, I stayed silent for a long time, and then all of a sudden them checks stopped rolling. So I'm not saying everybody is, know what I'm saying, is a victim or everybody is a good Samaritan. I'm saying when money stops coming, niggas start telling, and that's exactly what happened with Don. When money stopped coming, oh nigga, you got me fucked up. You know I got all this shit on you. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, because if you just giving money away, you might as well just, instead of me just getting these little bitch ass checks, you gonna whop me out too. I know you worth $900 million. I want at least 10 of that shit. I'm tired of getting these little petty ass $30,000 checks to shut the fuck up. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start talking, because once you put that 20 million down, you act like you didn't have to start. You didn't have to keep paying me.
Or maybe his intimidation tactics were that tough that he kept them quiet. So then once the first person dropped, now all these other people are dropping, and so now they like, okay, well now I can get money out of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get money out of it too.
I'm gonna keep it 100, and again, this is just my opinion. Yes, Puffy does intimidate the shit out of people. And that's evident. That's why they keep him in jail, because they're afraid of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is always 100% of, look at how niggas are living. It'll be a difference if motherfuckers was living in scrounge, like they were just fucked up and then decided to talk. But these motherfuckers are not living like that. These are still comfortable. What happened is, in order for them to still stay comfortable, money stopped coming in. And so now they like, oh, you gonna, you know, I got some shit on you. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I look at it because I know where I've been. I know what I'm saying. I know my life. I know where I've been, and I know what I've done in life. I've been in situations where I've had OGs tell me like, shit, don't take it as a loss. Take it as, that's how much it costs to get that nigga the fuck away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never had Puffy money, but I've been in a situation where a motherfucker was acting that kind, and I was like, okay, all right, you asking for this, I'll just give you this, and I never heard from that bitch ass nigga again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, how I look at it is, all on motherfuckers are only loyal to how much money you're getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This is that. This is true. This is going to be a long case. They're projecting it to be 9 weeks total, and we just gotten through the first week. And a lot of shit has come out. Like I said, it's very early in the case. They are starting to paint the picture. You know, they got the framework, you know. So now they're about to color within the lines. So it is extremely early on to see what this will pan out to be. But it sounds like, if I'm wrong, let me know. But it sounds like you guys think that he's going to be convicted of something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he's gonna be convicted of something. If Bill Cosby went to jail for raping a bitch 35 years ago, and excuse me, I don't want to call any of these victims out of their names, so I apologize right then and there. But if Bill Cosby can be convicted of things that happened 35 to 50 years ago, Puffy's definitely going to jail. The time, like I said, I think they're gonna give him at least 10.
Okay. Bree, what you think?
I think he's going to jail. I think that. I don't think he's gonna do no 50 years. I don't think he's gonna get charged with a whole lot of stuff. It looked like to me it might lean toward more, unless it's more of those SA workers coming out, then it looked like it's gonna be like a he was beating on her type deal and he couldn't have did that. And he might get some type of RICO, something in that RICO, but he's not gonna get everything that they trying to charge him with. He is gonna do some time though. And I don't think it's gonna make him a better person either. I think he's gonna continue to do that, be the man he is.
He a freaky Jason nigga. Do you think? Listen, and I know I'm gonna tell a joke on this, but I'm just gonna keep it 100. This man gets his rocks off by rubbing another man's semen on his nipples. That man is good in prison. That man is okay. That man is over the fuck K.
Well,
OBKB. All right.
You know, that part is it's kind of weird, because people are just like straight up, that nigga gay, or at least bisexual. He's definitely fluid. No pun intended. But there was a certain point where one of them sex workers did say that they were involved in a threesome, and they were looking at Diddy, and Diddy got pissed off and was like, "Don't look at me." And it doesn't sound like he was directly involved with engaging with the male sex workers. It sounds like the only time that he got any interaction was with Cassie, or with when they did the female sex workers, because when they were doing the female sex workers, the roles reversed between Diddy and Cassie. Like, Cassie would watch and Diddy was engaging with the female sex workers. But I don't know if I want to put the label on him outside of fluid at this point.
I won't call Puffy gay. I would never say that.
Yeah.
What I will say is, from what the court's affidavit has said, Puffy is going to be okay in jail. You know how many? And I'll just keep it a bean. I can't sugarcoat nothing for the life of me. It's just one of those things. I can't be fake. There's plenty of COs that'll let a man fuck them while they locked up, and I'm pretty sure with a man like Puffy, they'll let another inmate screw them, and then they'll go right to Puffy's room and they'll squeeze that cum right on his nipples. He's fine.
Just the visual of that is like, whoa.
Like, the sexual deviant that he is, he'll be fine in jail because he has $900 million.
Yeah.
Like, we have to understand that at the end of the day, with everything that he's doing and everything that he's paying for, all of that, because they're trying to paint the picture of, he's losing money. No, Puffy already has $900 million locked in. That ain't never gonna change. Even if he gets convicted and everything stops, Puffy still has $900 million.
Well, the thing about that net worth thing, because remember when Kanye started losing his deals, his stock plummeted, so his net worth plummeted.
Yep.
So he was no longer considered a billionaire.
The difference between Puffy is this: Puffy's net worth says 1.6. What Puffy actually has is 900 million.
Yeah, but the thing, what I'm saying is that stuff be contingent upon deals and whatnot.
No,
so
it's contingent upon deals for the 1.6. As far as 900 million, that has everything to do with his property and then the money that he has. So again, like you said, he'll just start giving up his properties because his net worth 1.6. What he actually grosses is 900 million, and that has everything to do with his cars, his real estate, and his businesses. All of that is like genuine. So all he has at the end of the day, if Puffy sells all of that, he's still going to be worth $500 million. $500 million in prison, he's going to get a nigga to nut on his nipples. It is what it is. We gotta stay. We can't make it seem, because people. I've seen certain podcasts where they like, oh yeah, they're just financially striking Puffy. No, they not.
I don't think by no means is he gonna be in financial strength. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the income may stop.
And that's cool. He's still gonna be worth more than anybody that we ever know in life.
Yeah, and
I know millionaires.
Yeah.
And I know he's still gonna be worth more than everybody that I know in life. And that ain't no extra shit. That's just real life. Like with the company that I deal with and the people that I interact with, I know millionaires, and I know none of them have at least $500 million.
Yeah. I mean, he's still, no matter what, even if he does do a lot of time, he will still be okay. His family will still be okay.
He gonna come out like Frank Lucas. Everybody talked about Frank Lucas is broke. When Frank Lucas got out of jail, he got out of jail to a chauffeur.
Yeah, in a fur coat.
But everybody said he was broke. Like these are the things that I be telling. Stop acting like the government it can take certain things from you. Like, because they'll seize your assets. That's 100% true. They'll seize your assets. So they'll make sure that you don't continue to make money while you locked up. What they can't do is when you get out of prison, what they can't do is take any other money that you already had in those accounts away from you.
Yeah.
So if you're already a millionaire, they're going to seize your account so you can't make any more millions. But if they can't prove that any of this money was made illegally, they can't take that money either.
Now, another thing I used to notice, this goes back to the 90s. Diddy used to not put shit in his name. Like it was public knowledge. Like he would be in interviews saying that like Bad Boy Entertainment is not in my name. That's in my mama's name. Yeah. Remember when he had the restaurant Justin's down there in Atlanta? Well, it was named after his son, but what he also was saying was that it wasn't in his name, it was in his son's name. So it's like some of that stuff they can't touch because it's not in his name. Like,
And that's the thing, is like,
yeah. So it was like, was he setting this shit up back then? Like, was he into illegal activities back then to where he knew I don't need to have this shit in my name?
it ain't even illegal activities, it's for suing purposes. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Being around people of business, I've learned that a lot of people, because of suing purposes, they don't never have anything into their S corp or into their name because of those situations.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put it in somebody else's. Case in point, the soccer player that had everything in his mother's name,
Mm-hmm.
just because when his wife divorced him, she expected to get a bag out of that, and his bag was only $1,000.
Right. He was
Because
having his
everything was
payroll
in his
check go
mother's
to his
name.
mama. Right.
So his mother gets all the assets. You're not trying to take money from his mother. You're trying to make money from him. And his account, he only had $10,000. So we have to go with what's in his account.
Yeah.
Not the assets, all that, because all that got transferred to somebody else. That's just how big business works. Trump been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You think everything is under the Trump label? You crazy. That's why he's in bed with everybody.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody does. Like, when you start making millions, you start being in bed with a lot of people. If you don't, that's what puts you in a trick bag. That's how how niggas get broke. Because you got everything under you. You think you got an S corp, you got an LLC, you think all of that shit is cool. And then when they realize you're the founder of it, that's when they take everything from you. But they can't do it when you have that shit separated with everybody else, because the only thing they can do is start playing with your assets. And if you are saying, I'm borrowing this money and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I really don't have anything at all, that's how, know what I'm saying? That's how people get screwed.
Yeah.
Jay-Z said it best. He had an interview, and this was probably about 25 years ago. And he said it. He said, man, if you look under my name, Sean Carter has nothing.
Right.
Sean Carter is worth nothing. Jay-Z is worth nothing. But his business ventures are worth billions.
Yeah.
And the people that are aligned with those business ventures are never going to allow those billions to get taken away. So you can sue me, and you will barely get a fraction of what you thought you was going to get. And I'll easily pay that off.
Yeah.
Because of who I'm in bed with, who I'm in line with. You have to, people have to start aligning what that shit is, especially even coming back to it, dealing with Puffy. Puffy has so much shit out, that's outsourced to everything. Puffy's never gonna lose the money that they think Puffy's gonna lose. If Puffy get 10 years, Puffy's still gonna come out a millionaire. Puffy's still gonna be able to live his life. Puffy's just gonna be now known as a monster.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna stop his millions though. And that ain't gonna stop his children from having generational wealth. That's the only, I guess, golden light in the whole situation is he still worked the plan where his children have generational wealth. We are never 20 years down the line. We are never gonna hear Justin talk about he never had no money.
Yeah.
I don't have shit. Bye. You are never gonna hear that.
Right.
These are the things like Epstein. I'll even go with that with Epstein and Epstein's family. All the shit that happened with Epstein, ain't none of them Epsteins came out and was like, man, we broke as fuck.
It's true. So one last thing before we adjourn. Cassie doesn't have immunity. So take that how you want to take it, but
she shouldn't, but
yeah,
I didn't. I like that's a bombshell.
Yeah. Yeah. Another person that I watch is a lawyer named I want to say her name is Brandy Redwine, and she runs the show on YouTube. Girl, Is That Legal? That's the name of the YouTube page, and she talked about it as well, and she said that she does not have immunity, and the way that you can tell when someone has immunity is because um the defense will let you know right off the bat this person has immunity, and the fact that it was never talked about is how you know that a person does not have immunity. So being that this is a lawyer that's still practicing, I'll take her word.
Mm.
And when you look at it, when people do have immunity, they do let you know they have immunity. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, yeah, that's maybe I mean, even thinking of that, because I didn't even think about that. Like, maybe it was one of those things where it was one of those things where it was calculated for her to get on the stage while, or not the stage, but stand while she was pregnant, because that gives you an unconscious bias to actually like be lenient on her.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you have the pregnancy, and then you have what horrific things have that she has endured, to where it would look extremely fucked up if you were to try to bring charges on her.
Yeah.
Even if she is, guilty.
It probably was. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, these things take time. Like, it might have been calculated for her to be pregnant.
Somebody said that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody said that too. Yeah.
Because I mean, you got to look at it like that. Like I said, it's an unconscious bias for people to always give leniency to somebody who is carrying a child. We see how that shit works.
Right.
I don't care if this person is a murderer. When they have a child, like, out of a sudden, people start backing up off the real fucking questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they handle you with kid gloves or something like that, But, this has been our Diddy update.
Diddy update, body, are you ready? Astroglide clean, running in your mouth. I'ma put swords in them. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'ma fucking with you out of drought. If your pussy dry, I'ma put the astral clean right up in it. I'ma make the real pussy clean. And if it's not, the fuck it, you got herpes. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Like I said before, this is a really, really, really dark case. So, because we're dealing with some dark, serious, horrific things, there will be ways that we are going to find to make light of it, because we're dealing with something that is horrible. So, there will be a joke or two when we discuss it. So
gonna be hella jokes coming from me. Just because that's just how I do trauma. If you were offended, I do apologize, but at the same time, with this whole situation, I my favorite word, y'all, or not my favorite word, but my favorite phrase, y'all, if y'all listen to this podcast, I mean, if the dick fits, fuck it.
So poignant. So we do want to shout out Bree for coming on.
Hell yeah.
As always.
Love to hear from Bree.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So I don't have any final thoughts. So Jerry's final thoughts, take it away.
Jerry's final thoughts is it's actually just gonna pinpoint everything that we see right now. We have gotten into a format in the United States, I can't say the world, but in the United States, where we are really having this debate of protect our women or some women be lying. we have gotten to a turmoil over it where we are actually starting to villainize not only the women, but the association that they're involved with. We watched this whole thing with DDG and Halle, where some people are not only victimizing her, but they're victimizing him, which, you know, in a 50-50 split, you can kind of understand it. But then we get to a situation with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion where now it comes to a situation where at first we were 100% victimizing Megan and making him seem like a villain, where when things come out, it doesn't come into play. So we have to get to this assumption where we can't go through the rule of believe our women. And I hate to say it like that, but this is the honest to God truth. We can't go through the situation of believe our women. We have to go through the situation of let it play out like it's supposed to play out. Some of these things we can't put our emotions in, and we literally have to watch it play out and make sure that people are held accountable for the things that they do. I think for a long time, because of the Me Too movement and everything, it was like, and I'm not never downplaying women, but at one point, a lot of evil women have been taking advantage of certain situations. So we have to understand that let's let everything play out like it's supposed to play out. If it's wrong, eventually that'll come out to light. But again, that's not your bag and that's not your fault. That is just somebody played it wrong. But we should not automatically assume because a woman says something about a situation that a man is automatically victimized. And the same rules play accordingly. Because a man has enough money, a woman should not have her voice or should not be downplayed like she did something wrong. We all need to let this shit play like it's supposed to play. We get to the situation of we all want to take sides. At one point, we all have to realize that we have to stay out of that, and we have to watch how it's being played, and then we make our assumptions after that. We should not automatically always jump on the bandwagon of certain things. If the Puffy case that we just talked about didn't prove that, then I don't know what is. I'll never say that Cassie is not a victim, but I would never say that Cassie was not a part of the problem. We as the consumers and the individuals that are watching this, we should not have a bias against anybody. What we should do is play this out and play it accordingly. And then whatever is right, not only legally, but morally, is what we should judge things a part of. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Thank you for Jerry's final thought. And this was episode 158 of the Ish We Talk, and we will see you guys for episode 159. Bye.
Exactly.